The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 335, being recorded on December the 25th, 2020. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, also known as Jesus Walks Out. Today I'm joined by my friend from the West Coast, the best coast, Gunny Chief, Henley Merrill. Welcome back, Gunny. Welcome.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Oh.
How are you, buddy?
Oh, hello.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Happy holidays, everyone.
It's
good to be
holidays.
here.
Yeah. Merry
I'm glad
Christmas.
we record before the end of 2020.
Yeah. It's Christmas Day 2020, and from Santa's workshop in Little Ohio, the Mayo is back.
What's up, Jesus? And, happy
Hi.
New Year's. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Hello.
We got all that snow over here right now. That's why
You got that Christmas corn? You got the Christmas corn going?
No Christmas corn. Just like 6 inches of Christmas snow, I guess.
I thought it was 3 inches.
Yeah, it feels like 6.
Anyways, welcome to the show. Merry Christmas, Mayo. Merry Christmas to you and yours.
To you guys.
And Merry Christmas to all the listeners. Happy holidays. If you do not celebrate Christmas, well, we still love you.
G'day.
We still love you. Don't worry about it.
Meow.
Anyways, you can follow us on Twitter, _Horrible Gamers. You can leave us a review on iTunes, on Google Podcast, on all that stuff. Stitch your thumbs up. Horrible Gamers Podcast Community is a close group on Facebook that is our community group for the people that listen to the show like yourself. You can go and join this group, answer simple few questions that we ask just to make sure you're not a bot. And pretty much, we let you in. Also, you can support the show by heading on over to Patreon at patreon.com/horrible gamers, like our friends have, such as Michael Sitch. Merry Christmas, Michael. And Jason Sams, Robert Noble, Sean Patrick, Chad, Brandon Willier, Vader Holic, The Commandalorian, Natives Lives Matter. Did I just call him The Commandalorian? It's just Commandalorian. I've been watching too much of The Mandalorian that now he is The Commandalorian.
The one.
I've been watching too much Mandalorian. It has to put the in front of that now. Native Lives Matter. In the M, Jesse Kraft, Pork Chop Poo, the Mayo. Thank you, Mayo. Merry Christmas, Mayo. Robbie Wheat, Adam Sunday, John Jerome. Merry Christmas to you, John. Evan Tanaka, Jonathan Big D Hall. Merry Christmas to both of you. And last but not least, our friend Bill Garner II. He is number 2 because he can't be number 1. He's a loser. Number 2 sucks. Number 1 is better. Ha ha ha. Sorry, Bill. I'm just kidding. Merry Christmas, Billy. Yeah! Merry Christmas to all of you and happy holidays. You know what? Speaking of holidays, guys, there must have been some Christmas gifts unwrapped today or last night.
A few.
I hope that there was a lot of acrylic blocks on, unwrapped. That's what I was hoping for, a Christmas miracle that every child in America would receive a stimulus acrylic block. But I'm not sure.
Gunny Jr., did you get your acrylic block?
Did he get an acrylic block?
Under the tree?
No acrylic.
A what now?
Oh, I'm sorry, that's Gunny Jr. This is Gunny Jr. here, guys. Merry Christmas, Gunny Jr.
Y'all forget about me?
This sounds like Gunny's...
Sorry.
This sounds
Merry
like
Christmas.
Gunny's dad.
This guy's like 7 foot tall over here.
Yeah, meet Gunny's father, guys.
Hi, Dad.
Hello, son.
This is what it sounds like. Jesus.
He does, doesn't he? We were on a call with like a family member today, and I was like, they were like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "That's my dad." He's like 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
Crazy, 6'5".
Yeah, anyways, welcome to the show, Gunny Jr. But he's muted. He's in the background. He's doing his thing over there. We are... What the fuck was that? Where the fuck was I at?
Redbubble.
Oh, we're at Redbubble.
Acrylic blocks everywhere.
Acrylic blocks everywhere. Yeah, you can join. You don't have to join. You can just go over to redbubble.com, search for Horrible Gamers Podcast, and find somebody wearing our shirt. Or you'll probably see the acrylic block being featured. Most likely that. Because everyone searches for that. I don't know why.
It seems to get all the press.
So, but there's also shirts available for men and women and them. If you're a them, you can buy a shirt for yourself as well. There's shirts of all shapes and sizes, as well as sweaters, hoodies, blankets, acrylic blocks, some socks, maybe some clocks, and I know for sure there's coasters. There's no posters, and there should be some toasters, but there is no toasters as well.
I think they have, I don't know if it's a new thing this year. I know my daughter ordered stuff, so they have tapestries also.
Oh, a tapestry. What the fuck is a tapestry?
Dude, Jesus, let me tell you something.
What's a tapestry?
Okay, Kyle, I'm a boomer, Kyle. What do we call them? What the
fuck's a tapestry?
A millennial? I think it is, right?
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, millennial.
It's a millennial.
It's a millennial. Right. Thank you for the clarification. Yes. And
we got a fact checker on the show, guys.
Thank you. So yes, those used to be a thing back in the 90s, Mr. Young Jesus, and we had them all over our walls, whether it was something from like the rock and roll area, like Pantera and Slayer and Metallica. Dude, and then what you would do, Jesus?
Oh, you mean like the blankets you hang on the wall?
Yes.
Pretty much. Yeah. Hanging blankets,
okay.
I like it.
Okay, the blankets you hang on the... You guys should have just said that, guys.
But you know what we had? We had
Mayo over here using big words for me, and my daughter bought
we had those lights, man. we had those lights, man, whether it was red or purple.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now. There's like glow in the dark ones and shit.
They were nice. I never had them myself personally, but
this is what you'd find in Jonathan Hall's house with this fucking drugs everywhere.
Exactly.
Bongs everywhere and fucking tapestries all over the wall.
Yep.
I'm just giving you shit, John. But John, you can put an HGP tapestry in your bong room, dude. You do it.
Make us one, John.
John. Oh, he will. You do it, John. Do it. Anyways, you go get yourself some gear over at Redbubble. God, that took forever. Let's move on here. You can head on over to Stitcher.com and sign up for a premium account. And then you'd be wondering, why the fuck do I want a premium Stitcher account? And I know that they told me not to swear on their ad, but I don't care. Let me tell you why you want a Stitcher premium account, Mayo.
Okay, why?
Because you get access to ad-free listening as well as premium exclusive shows and so much more. You get access to like exclusive shows that are only available on Stitcher, and like they have partnerships with like certain what do you call those networks, I guess.
Yep.
So like for example, they have like a partnership with like all the Marvel people. So like the Marvel podcasts are exclusive to Stitcher, I'm pretty sure. Because there's a bunch of... I don't know if you know this, Mayo, but there's like Marvel podcasts now, I guess.
I've noticed that.
Yeah. And they're like actual like stories based on Marvel characters, but I'm not sure if they're canon or like if they're part of some comic series. I don't know. I don't know this nerd stuff, guys. But I know that there's stories of Marvel in podcast form, and they're available on Stitcher, as well as the Wondery Network is available on there. And there's so much more. There's like true crime podcasts that are available on there that are super fucking cool, that I enjoy a lot. So get yourself some Stitcher Premium. It only costs $4.99 a month, or you could sign up for a year and get yourself a subscription for only $34.99 a year. But wait, so there's more. Sign up using promo code HorribleGamers and get yourself a free month of Stitcher Premium. Whether you sign up for a month-to-month subscription or a yearly subscription, you get yourself a free month of Stitcher Premium using promo code HorribleGamers, all caps, no spaces. Thank you, Stitcher. We love you, and our listeners hopefully love you too. Now, let's go and thank our friend for the intro and outro music to the podcast. First off, I want to thank Father and Twistix for Breakout being the intro song to the show for the longest time. I mean, that thing was on our podcast for years. Shout out to Broke for Free, Night Owl, for the outro music to the podcast. They've been around since we started the podcast pretty much. So 6-7 years now. And thank you to Ricky Alfaras for the music he's provided to the show. And thank you to MechMod as well. Thank you to different other artists out there on YouTube and music that we've used throughout the show for the last 7 years. Thanks to all of you. We love you all. And anyways, let's get to what we've been playing. You know, it's a Christmas special, guys. It's a Christmas miracle. We're all here. Christmas miracle, Mayo.
It does feel like a Christmas miracle that we were all able to get together and record.
Yeah. So we're here. We're here to record for you. Now let's talk about what we've been playing this week. And guys, I've been playing a game that you all know that I've been playing. I've been playing Cyberpunk.
Oh, geez, I thought you was going somewhere else with that one.
No. I've been playing Cyberpunk. Let's get to it, guys. So, Cyberpunk. I beat Cyberpunk.
Okay. So are you ready for another playthrough already?
See, I don't know. So last night, was it the night before or last night, I got to this mission in the game, and I knew it was the end of the game, because it said right there, like, hey, this is like a no return, like point of no return, like you better wrap up whatever side quests you haven't done yet, or whatever storylines you got open. You should probably wrap those up before you like proceed to this mission, because you won't be able to do any more side quests after you enter this building. And I was like, So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go and do some more side quests. So I started doing more side quests. And then I was like, you know what? It's just gnawing at me. I need to know what's going to happen. So I just fucking went in there. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm ready. I'm ready to see where this takes me. And I went into the building. And I had the craziest fucking ending. And I'm not sure if it was the good ending or not.
I think there's 3 endings to this game.
I heard there's 5. There's like 2 secret ones. Okay. Yeah. I know there's 2 main ones, and there's like another one, and there's like 2 secret endings to the game. Because I know the game probably would have ended for me in the middle of this like hours ago when... Spoiler alert right now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If you're listening to this, you're bound to get spoiled, so stop listening.
Skip along, people.
So there's a part in Pan Am's storyline. I don't know if you guys have met Pan Am or not, but Pan Am's storyline...
I heard about it on a podcast talking about how this could impact some of the storyline and how you could possibly, like, almost... Well, so this is what I heard. That is that if you talk to her and you talk about money, then she will walk away and you'll never hear from her again.
Okay, but no, I didn't do that. So yeah, this game does have consequences for your actions. Like I told you guys in the past, you can fail side quests. And you can, like, straight up fail a side quest, and the side quest will just fail. Like I told you about that one guy I got killed that I had to escort from, like, Chinatown to, like, Japantown or some other part of the city, and he got fucking shot as I was carrying him out. Yeah, like it was just over. The guy just texted me and said, hey, you dumbass, you got the guy killed. Now you failed, so I'm not going to pay you. You fucking
That's
failed.
what I was going to ask you is how do you fail like that?
It just happens. It just happens. It's just done. Like, say one wrong...
keep going with the game.
Yeah, the game just keeps going. Like, it just tells you, hey, this quest has failed. You don't get to see what happens next. You're done. Like, this is it. Okay. So... There's a part in Pan Am's storyline when you've done enough things with Pan Am. I don't know if you have to be a male V or a female V, but I'm a male V, and there's a part in that storyline where you romance her kind of, and you guys kind of like get together sort of, but then she asks you to leave with them, and she's part of the L whatever the fuck are they whatever the fuck the Desperados or whatever the fuck their group is called, their biker gang is called, or whatever their group clan thing is called. Anyways, she tells you that they're leaving. They're leaving like out of state. Like they're leaving that state. They're leaving California. They're going somewhere else because they're tired of dealing with Militech and Arasaka Corporation, biotech, and all those companies.
Going to Tokyo.
And she asks you, well, no, they're in America, Gunny. They're not going to Tokyo. They're like broke-ass fucking hippies living in the desert. But she asks you to leave with her, and then you tell her, like, no, I got this fucking thing in my head that's killing me. Like, I need to get it fixed. And she tells you, like, she can help you get it fixed, that you guys will find a way to get it fixed. You guys will figure it out. And I believe at that point in the game, if you make the choice to leave with her right there, the game ends for you right there. Like, I'm pretty sure you just leave with her. And then the game shows you some cutscene and the game ends. And that was hours ago for me. That was like maybe 30 hours ago for me, 20 hours ago for me. So I know that there's, in the ending that I got, what's a little fucked up, you know, that I don't know if in the end V can survive. I think you have to make a choice. You either have to make a choice whether Johnny's going to take over and survive, or V is going to take over and survive, or neither of you take over and survive. I think you could just make a choice, I think. I think suicide is an option in the game. I know that was something that came up at the end of the game. Like I was talking to Victor, and he's like, hey, look, man, I know, like, if you just want to end this, there's a gun right there. Like just... you know what to do. Just pull the fucking trigger and that's it. Like, you're done. You don't have to deal with any of the decisions. Anything, you're done, you know? And then, like, it's a pretty sad ending, the ending I got. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but it was pretty sad. Like, I thought it was going to be, like, more happy because I thought I was making the right decision. And when I realized that I didn't really make the right decision, it fucked with my head. I was like, that's fucked up. Like, I should have known that I was gonna, like, this was gonna happen. I should have known better. Like, but no, I didn't know better. I should have known better. I should have made the other choice. But then, like, the game ends, and at the end of the game, like, you got all the people in the game calling you. Like, they call you and leave voicemails or whatever on your phone. As the credits are rolling, they're all calling you. And apparently, depending on which ending you get, they all say different shit. And based on the relationship you had with him throughout the game. So, like if you knew them, if you had a relationship with him, if you failed a side quest with them, if you did a bunch of side quests with them, they all call you and they talk to you about whatever. Like, hey V, we miss you, or whatever. Like, hey man, like, I hope you're doing well. Like, I can't believe this happened, or whatever, you know. And they're all leaving voicemails, and it was kind of like fucking sad, you know. But at the end of the game, at the end of the credits, the game asks you, like, if you want to continue playing the game, you can. And it kind of kicks you back, like it auto saves right before that last mission, and it'll kick you back to that point, and it'll tell you, like, okay, you can continue and do the side quests or whatever. And then I wonder if I could do all the side quests now and then still go back and get the other ending, which I'm pretty sure I could, because the mission prompt is right there. Like, it tells me, like, you want to do this mission, it's right there. So I wonder if they do that so you can just experience the endings back to back to back if you really want to, you know? Like, if that's what you want to do, you could do that. But yeah, it was a little fucking weird, man. Like the game is really well done. Like, I like the story a lot. The whole thing about, you know, like, cheating death and all that is kind of fucking crazy to me. Like, you know, like, that was kind of like whoa, like, this is wild, like fucking nuts. But all that was cool, and I really enjoyed all the side quests that I played. And I know that there was a few side quests that, like, I don't know if I failed them or I never, like, got to them, because I know there's a lot of side content in this game that I just missed. So I'm gonna go back and try to do as much side quest as I can. We'll see what happens, though. I mean,
that's crazy just to hear you talk about this and some of those spoilers that you talk about, where I just finished the prologue myself. And yeah, it's like, okay, I know that what they're telling, I don't want to spoil it for anybody out there. Anything that just happened prior to that prologue, maybe some of you can figure it out, but it's crazy to think that, you know, meeting Johnny Silverhand and kind of how I'm going to go forward going with this, and side quests with the Pan Am and other ones that were, you know, maybe not as long, but for me, it's the adventure, Jesus. I think, like, that's where I'm really, you know, intrigued, and I want to know more about this the other side quests, such as Pan Am with her.
Yeah. And there's a lot of cool, like I said, people think that it's just the city in the game. There's a lot more. There's a whole desert area in the game that's like outside the city that has a lot of shit going on in there too. The game is very deep, man, and it goes a lot of different places. Like it goes from like political corruption to fucking police scandals to fucking all kinds of shit that you get yourself into, like random fucking side quests that just kind of you just fall yourself into a side quest, and now you're doing all these missions for this person, like randomly, like what the fuck? How did I end up here? And you end up doing like a whole 10 hours of side quests for somebody.
And that's what I noticed the other night. I was playing around and I got involved in a side quest, and I ended up playing that for multiple hours, I think. And then I'm going, I'm not getting any of this campaign done,
Yeah.
And I finally kind of stopped doing some of the side quests, but I know one of them was one of the ones for the taxi cab that talks to you.
Oh, yeah, Delamain.
We have to go catch his cars, and so I'm just running all over the city, going to new parts of the cities and getting all the people calling me as I'm driving through trying to track down these cars, and I ended up like outside of that garbage area, which was kind of neat. It was like a landfill.
Mm.
It was kind of a neat environment and stuff like that, and just the different little things they did with the cars, like how you talk to them, and each one of them had their own little unique situation.
Yeah, they all like there's like a suicidal one you gotta like talk off the ledge. There's the one that it's like all like sad in the dumpster. He's like, "Oh, just kill me."
Yeah, the one that had the gang with them.
Yeah.
Now with our listeners here, I know that. Okay, so me and Mayo talked twice today, earlier today and later today, just prior to Jesus coming on before we recorded, and Mayo's kind of giving me a little bit of this. These side quest things, and I'm like, man, this is really intriguing because a lot of things I didn't know. I've been avoiding a lot of these, these YouTube videos and just things on, spoilers and just other side quests and things. And it just, there's definitely a lot to this game, and I want to do a little crafting.
There's a lot of...
I love side missions.
Yeah,
I'm all about it.
The crafting is pretty cool, man. I crafted some cool shit. Like, my handgun in the game, I have this revolver. And that thing is OP, dude. Like, I shoot people in the head, and their head explodes. Like that shit is, like, super, like it's like I'm not afraid of anyone, really. But don't get me wrong. There's enemies that I've come across that I just can't fucking kill. Like, I just have such a hard time, like... I don't know what it is. They have like some special armor or something that's against pistols or something, because I can't fucking kill them. I'm like, what the fuck? You're so powerful, dude. Like, how the hell do you not die?
I noticed on the mission I did today, if you scan the enemy and it tells you on the bottom of their screen, they'll say like they're weak against fire and they're good against this and that. I can't remember what the examples were, but it might tell you there. Maybe there's something that's in your gun. I remember too, like when you get to play Johnny Silverhand, the very first time you play him, when you have his pistol, it reminds me of that because you were just like blowing heads off with that thing too.
Yeah, that thing is like super OP as fuck. Like you just boom, 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 and I didn't even finish the skill tree. Like I did not like. There's so many skills that I can still unlock and open and figure out what to do things with. So like I said, I'm kind of intrigued to go back into Night City and see what side quests, I can get myself into. Because I've done some pretty shady shit in Night City. Like, I've killed a lot of people, and I don't even know, like if my character is good or evil. Because he's doing it for, like, a good reason sometimes, but sometimes I have no other choice but to kill these people, and the people get mad at me that I killed them, and I'm like, well... I had no choice. Like I had to kill that person. I had no other option. Like, and the thing is, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but like when you kill somebody in the game, say you fighting this guy that's like a fucking cybernetic fucking asshole, and you take him out and their health bar goes to 0 and they fall to the ground, they're not dead. They're like kind of incapacitated, and you've beat them, and you can just walk away. But also, you can shoot them in the head or, like, shoot them in the chest and finish them off and kill them. And there was a few missions that I did in the game. Like, either there were both main story and side quest missions that I did where I fought somebody And then I finished him off, and the other character that was with me was like, "Hey, man, you didn't have to finish him off. I didn't want you to kill that person. I wanted that person alive." And you're like, well, sorry. Like, I shot him in the head. Like, my bad. You should have told me that before, you know? And it's like, I did tell you before. Like, you shouldn't have killed him. And I was like, oh, well, fuck, I should have paid more attention, you know? And I'm like, I had no choice. The dude was attacking me, but the truth is, like, he was just on the ground, kind of like beat up already, and I just finished him off. So, like, the game does make you do some pretty crazy decisions at times. And, like, I gotta say, though, the ending, man, was super, fucking interesting, the way the game ended for me. I was like, I never really expected it to go to this. Like I was like, what the fuck? I can't believe this just happened, you know? Anyways, that's enough Cyberpunk for me. I look forward to seeing what CD Projekt Red does to add to this game. Like, how are they going to add extra content to this? Are they going to add a whole new, like a Johnny storyline, or like a V storyline, or like somebody else, like a new character storyline? Because, like I said, at the end of the game, it's kind of like all or nothing. You either die or you live or whatever, you know? It's like you have to choose who lives and who dies in your body. And I'm not sure there's a good ending either way the game ends. I'm pretty sure it's all dark. So, I don't know how the DLC is going to be done in this game. If it's going to be set before V gets the fucking chip in his head, but then...
Probably.
But then that would mean your DLC would have to be like set in between that montage where you lose all your shit and then you're partying with Jackie and shit. It has to be set in that area then if it's set the DLC in that area, you know.
I hope so.
Then it gets to make sense because then you get to know a little bit more about Jackie and his relationship with V or whatever, because you don't really get to explore that in the game. It kind of just, he's there and next thing you know he's getting shot.
That's the kind of thing that disappointed me in it. Like, I thought that was way too early in the game.
Yeah, it was
there
like,
was no real
fuck?
connection there or anything, really.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what? You know, kind of thing.
Again, listener, spoiler alert, because I'm going to speak about it too. As far as me finishing the prologue, so go ahead and skip ahead a couple minutes or 5. Yeah, and that is something that me and Mayo were talking about earlier, Jesus, when you were playing COD, is that Jackie... I almost knew, like, I fucking knew, like, okay, he's going to die, like, because, you know, Mayo, go ahead and explain why you didn't think he was going to live. And you were telling me about it earlier.
Oh, yeah. So what I was telling Gunny earlier is, you know, you've seen all this Cyberpunk, like, toys in the GameStop stores, and you've seen, like, little figurines and this and that, but you never see much about Jackie as a character that I have seen. And so I'm like, I wonder if he's just like not a long-term character because he's just like missing out of most of the little action figure stuff and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it kind of didn't surprise me. Like once he died, I was like, oh, this makes sense why they don't really push him, because I would have thought you've seen a lot more stuff as a Jackie figurine, because you know the way it was going early, he's like your like right-hand man, like you're talking to him like all the time. You know, and I'm like, I go into GameStop, you know, when I was doing some holiday shopping here, they had some figurines that were Cyberpunk and none of them were Jackie, you know, and I'm like, well, that's kind of interesting, you know, and then, you know, seeing some other things, you don't really see much of Jackie, and I was just kind of like, huh, you know, and then it made complete sense when he dies in the mission, you know, so. But, yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, Jesus, I know you got through it, and I haven't been able to grind through it because of work and all that stuff. But I'm further than Gunny, and you know, I haven't gotten through it yet. But I just been enjoying those side missions and just getting lost. You know, doing that whatever job I get put on, just going out there and just doing things. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't know if I should be here doing this yet. Like the danger level is like extremely high or something like that on the mission listing.
Yeah,
going,
yeah.
Maybe I should level up a little bit before I attempt this stuff, you know. But sometimes I'm in there fighting my way through it.
Yeah. So, that's Cyberpunk, people. I mean, I really like the story, and I fucking love the game. I really do enjoy the game. Like, the game is so fucking cool to me. I love the setting. I love the city. There's just so many things about it. But it is short compared to The Witcher, I guess. If you look at it that way, it is shorter, but
What? How many hours were you in when you reached the end of it?
I don't know, man. Like 40 hours.
How many?
40.
Yeah, about 40. Yeah, because
See, like I've played 40. It says total playtime 42.9 hours. So yeah, it took me about 40 hours because the ending takes about 2.5 hours to beat the end of the game. Like the whole ending. I mean, like fighting the bad people, whoever the fuck you choose to fight, and all that takes about 2 hours to do all that. So yeah.
Everything I do in this game, I feel like it takes a long time. Like it's a commitment when I sit down and play. Like I know I'm going to be playing for the rest of the night because there is no quick hop on, do one mission and hop out. You know, I'm going to play for a half hour because I have a half hour free time. There is none of that. Like you get in and you're playing for a while, or something's long and involved. They give you a lot of dialogue in there too. At times, there's a lot of things happening. Even in the side quests, it's long it can be involved, which is pretty neat. I'm really enjoying this game a lot. So
yeah, me too. Like I said, I just finished the prologue. I'm in the epilogue now, and so as far as the epilogue goes, I feel like it's definitely like in a movie type situation, which I really do enjoy. Where I've met Johnny Silverhand, and it might be where, for example, and I was telling Melly earlier where, again, a spoiler alert, Johnny Silverhand's there, and he's kind of got his foot on the wall, and he's banging his head on the wall itself, but not hard. But he's just like, "Hey, man, I'm in your head, man." And you're just like, "No, fuck you. You're not here. I'm taking my pills." And before you know it, you're on the ground, you're crawling, and again, playing on console, guys, Xbox Series S, it's very quick loading times as far as it goes, and it's almost it's there. I'm with it. I'm involved, and you're crawling for your pills. You're trying to get to your pills. Again, it's another loading screen, but it's quick. It's fast. So if you're on the X and the Xbox One X and the PS5, probably I assume it's going the same way for those on PlayStation 5, I hope. And it's kind of going through these quick sequences of just how it kind of plays out in a movie. And that's something, as you listeners know, that I really enjoy as far as an action game. And I'm sticking with it, and I'm really enjoying it. Playing on the Xbox Series S. Good story.
Nice. Not a lot of glitches or anything for you?
No.
So far?
Okay, so the only glitches I see that I've heard, like in podcasts, again, as a truck driver, it's the ones that I know about that I see. For example, where you might see what do you call it? Like almost like a tablet, and it'll be floating. Or okay, so when I'm in the elevator with Jackie, and we're kind of going through that. We talked about it, guys, in our own little private chat about going through the hotel sequence with Jackie. And so what's happening with me in that is that the dialogue that I kind of say to Jackie will just stay with the whole mission. But again, it's at the bottom, so it's not super noticeable. Where it'll say, "Hey, Jackie, I got a key card to get us to the bottom floor, to get out of here." And that'll kind of stay with me until the next dialogue that V says. And because I keep looking down, I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of see it's glitched, but it's not something that's game breaking or that it's taking me out of it. It's just there, right? So it's not terrible. I'm with it. I'm involved. I feel like the second update to the consoles with the PlayStation Network and with the Xbox family of consoles is, again, playing on, the Series X, it's not game breaking. Knock on wood.
That's good to hear, because, it's unfortunate, in my opinion, all the bad press that this game is getting. So,
yeah, and we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
As far as like, CDPR and everything else involved in the news. as far as glitches and game-breaking bugs and lawsuits and everything else involved with the game. So, but as far as PC, I've heard really good things. That the game's playable and you can finish it from beginning to end. And everybody's experiencing glitches. That's kind of a thing, right? Until they get things going. We got a community question later on as well.
But as far as the glitches go, for me, in my opinion, there's nothing that I've seen that hasn't happened in Bethesda games. Like, even The Witcher 3, when you think of The Witcher 3, excuse me, it had a lot of glitches, dude, when it first came out. It is nothing like what it is now. So I have faith in CD Projekt Red going in and fixing the game. But yeah, I don't. The glitches they're there, but they're not extremely game breaking. Like there was one on the PC that they kind of did a hot fix for this week, which was that was kind of game breaking. That was the save file being larger than 8 megabytes. It would corrupt your save file.
Now, what I heard, Jesus, was that now it's possible that if you crafted a lot, or if you did I think I want to say it's called not a cheat, but maybe more of what's that word I'm thinking of as far as something similar to a cheat, but it's more of a
glitch.
I'll think of it later. I know I can never remember the name of the damn thing, but
a hack,
maybe a hack or a cheat, or there's another term for it as well.
Gunny? Why are you hacking the game?
I'm not hacking it, man. And you know what? I have not even Googled that because I don't want to fuck my game save up. And I have not had any problems with game saves. It's saved just fine, and I've done manual saves.
On the consoles it was fine. It was the PC version that would corrupt your save file on the PC. It would somehow get the save file would get too big, and then when you would launch the game and go into the continue, it would just corrupt it, and then you would have to restart the game all over. Which
I got lucky there because I had lots of save files. I mean, I was manually saving in different times, and I would pull up and it had like a whole list, and I'm like, I don't normally have that many save files in games. I usually don't do that, but I just didn't mess with it because it just kept adding one on top of the other one. So I'm like, I'm just going to keep adding to it,
Kind of like a Witcher 3 type situation. It looks similar, where I currently have 6. I have not tried to load up like all 6 different ones, but again, they're all manual saves. But again, on a console, I know on PlayStation and Xbox it works similar as far as like how a cloud works, and there are those auto saves, and so far so good. I literally no issues kind of going back in, keeping my game in that solid state drive and loading back up, and it's been, hey, let's continue, let's go, and I'm ready to go, and it's been flawless as far as a game save goes.
Yeah. Other than that, though, the game was incredible, and I totally recommend it to anyone that to just play this fucking game. It's so fucking good, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But I look forward to seeing what other side quests I can get myself into and other shit I can do. I know there's different romance options in the game. Pan Am is one of them. I know Judy, the tattooed chick you meet at that club with that one lady, that lady.
Is that the one you meet early on? Where she's smoking a cigarette and she's kind of telling you about how you can get involved more.
She's the one that does the plugs you in.
The brain dance. Yeah.
Her. Okay.
The Asian chick. Her. She's wearing like the overalls or whatever.
Yes.
And then, so I know she's a romance option. I know there's male romance options that are out there. I'm not sure who you can romance also. Maybe the cop. I know I talked to this cop guy, but I don't know if he would be a romance option. Maybe he would be for a female V or something. I wonder if his sister was a romance option, because like there was a side quest I did with him where like I had to go have dinner with him and his family or something. And like his sister was like sort of hitting on V or something, and I was like, this is, where the fuck is this going? Like what the hell? How do I respond to these answers, these questions, right? So I just kept kind of rolling with it, to see if anything happened. And then like nothing really happened in that situation, because he was like, okay, we gotta go. Like he kind of like pulled me out of the dinner table or whatever. And then like later on, he called me and told me his sister was asking about me, and I was like, I wonder if I go back there and try to talk to her, if like some kind of romance options would open up. I don't know. I gotta explore my options, guys. We'll see what Night City has to hold for us in store. Because that game, man, there's so much shit you can do in the game, and so much different hidden stuff you can find. There's a lot of secrets in the game. You know Hideo Kojima's in the game?
No, I didn't know that.
I have heard that.
Yeah, he's in the club. He's chilling with like a bunch of fucking hot chicks in the club. He's just sitting there.
Nice.
Also, Elon Musk is in the game as well. Elon Musk is in the game. Yeah, he
Launching rockets.
He's one of the people you see in the very beginning if you play as the corpo guy in the corporate building. He's in there. What else? And there's a few other like Easter eggs they've kind of put into the game. They've put if you ever played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, CJ's neighborhood, Grove Street or whatever, like the little roundabout, it's like a little dead end roundabout where his house is. There's a part in the game where you can find that neighborhood, and it looks just like the Grand Theft Auto neighborhood, like, but it's obviously in Cyberpunk.
Nice.
It looks kind of futuristic, but like, they have the same, like the NPCs standing in the same spots as in that game. Like it all kind of looks the same. You could totally tell it's like this is Grove Street, motherfucker, and it's kind of in the ghetto in the game, and it's fucking hilarious. But other than that, man, yeah, I've been having a good time with Cyberpunk. I don't know if you guys have
One thing I
anything
know
to
I
add.
thought was really neat was probably like one of the original little Easter eggs was there's a mission on, was it The Witcher, where it mentioned Cyberpunk. I don't remember the exact details on it, but they mentioned about going to Night City, the one person.
Yeah, and there was another thing, Mayo, where I'm trying to think of where the hell I was in the prologue, and it might have been kind of towards that hotel mission with Jackie. Oh, I think that's exactly where it was, and where like you're trying to escape, and it starts playing that musical instrument. I have no idea what the hell the name of it is, but it's like, oh, is this the Witcher music? This is cool.
Oh yeah,
Is that
Yeah, I
it?
remember.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, back in the, he said it's back in the early on the Witcher game. There's a mission where she goes to the future, and she has this vision of the future, and she goes to Night City, and they make reference to Cyberpunk.
Oh yeah.
So,
I saw that on the one of the tweets. Okay.
yeah, so that was kind of neat how they were able to
Connecting
throw
the
that in.
dots.
And I guess there is some Witcher stuff like in the I guess some magazines and stuff reference The Witcher, if you can find that kind of stuff laying around. And I'm not sure what author it was off the top of my head, but yeah, so yeah, lots of different Easter eggs we can find, I guess. I actually Googled it real quick, and PC Gamer has an article on it talking about all the the Easter eggs. I'm not gonna go through them all now because I don't want to spoil it for people, but so it was enough to have an article come up from PC Gamer about all the Easter eggs that are involved. So
Yeah, I didn't click on it myself because I was like, oh, I'm gonna kind of wait and kind of see if I run into one of them. But some I may know and may not know. But yeah, there was some of the again with similar style music, and I thought that was cool. Again, not an Easter egg, but it was like, okay, very noticeable.
Mhm.
But yeah, I like I see the flow of this game, and it's going good. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, like I said, I can't get enough of it. It's all I want to play right now. It's pretty much like this is the only game I want to dive right into right now. And I've been going further a little bit here. Actually, Gunny, I can talk about it now. Is I bought myself a new TV this week for Christmas.
Hey, so you bought a new RCA TV, right? One of those,
Yeah,
one of those old
tube
RCA
style.
TVs. They're back again and they're ready to
Yeah.
go. And
Back in style.
the old
Yeah.
RCA this is the big tube, right? This is the big tube TV that's
Oh,
making a
yeah.
comeback.
Big
Why don't you
old.
tell us more about this big tube TV?
Yeah, so I ended up buying myself one of those fancy smancy LG OLEDs, with the CW models, the 65-inch.
You and everybody else. What is up
Yeah.
with you and Bill Gardner and everybody else and Leahy and everybody? Everybody's buying these LG OLEDs.
Well, I wanted one for a while, and I kept seeing them in the store, and I'm like, yeah, that looks so nice, And so finally, the other day, I woke up the one morning. I woke my son up. I'm like, we're going to buy a TV. So Best Buy had it on sale actually. So I was able to go and pick it up at Best Buy, and I think I had it set up in less than an hour once I got it back to the apartment, and
Nice.
I had it mounted on my mount. I had the old TV down and everything, and didn't take any time at all. So
Now tell us about the old TV. Was that a 1080p? What
no,
was it?
it was a 4K TV, but it was a Vizio, and it was one of these. It was like a $300 or $400 4K TV, like a Black Friday special TV. That it it was an okay TV. I mean, it did its purpose and did its job, and it had the internet, and so it could do apps, and I had my Voodoo and my Netflix and all that kind of stuff on there, but. And it looked good, but I didn't use it as a monitor. Like if you tried to like hook my computer to it, it just did not like it very well. It had like a little bit of a delay, and it just didn't really work all that great with it. So
Now, Mayo, I've never had a regular 4K TV. I've experienced it briefly at like a Best Buy. But tell me, so how does that work going from like a regular 4K Vizio to like an LG 65-inch OLED?
the OLED is huge, man. I can't believe how much different the OLED make things. Like it makes the black is black and the whites are white. They say it has an infinite contrast ratio, but it's just I have a lot of stuff on Voodoo, a lot of movies on Voodoo, and so I'm like, I'm gonna check out some of these movies. So I on the demo in the store they had the movie Gemini Man from Will Smith, and it looks so good. I'm like, wow, that looks so crystal clear. You can see like their fingerprints on this like on like a sniper shot. And I'm like, wow, that's just insane how clear it is. It's like you're on the set. And I'm like, it can't look like that. At home. And so sure enough, I loaded the game up, and because I own it in 4K, Dolby Vision, with all the bells and whistles with the HDR and all that stuff. So sure enough, we watched the movie, and it looked like you were on set. I mean, it just feels like you're going to almost expose the movie because it's so crystal clear. And I'm like, it almost feels like I'm just sitting right there watching it, and I'm gonna see a prop because it's not supposed to look that clear. And so I found myself buying like multiple movies this week and watching them on it. But the thing is crazy. Like one thing did really surprise me though was how heavy it was. My old TV was really light, and this thing weighs a lot more than what I anticipated, especially as thin as it is. This thing is probably what, Gunny? I don't know if yours is the same way, but it's probably quarter-inch thick maximum. But you're muted over, Gunny.
I'm sorry. The wife's telling me dinner's going to be ready in 10 minutes. So with my Sony TV, so it does have that like it's very thin, but it does have that like kind of back that lower back to it to where it does kind of stick out just a teeny bit as far as like for your peripherals for your your HDMI cables go and everything. So
yeah, and that's what mine was, but it just feels so thin. But I just could not believe, like I said, when I mounted it, how heavy it was. It took the two of us because it was a 65-inch anyways, because just the width of the TV.
yeah.
But it's probably, I think I looked it up online, and I want to say, I don't remember what the number was now, but I want to say it's close to like 40 or 50 pounds.
Wow. Yeah. So okay. So going into the fact that my new house is ready to go. It's close.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking less than 2 months. We order the furniture. That's going to take 2 months due to COVID. Laying down carpets and everything else, and the fact that I should probably start ordering TVs for it, and kind of figuring out how do I want to go forward with, and it'll probably be with like an LG or a Sony.
Yeah,
because I
and
really enjoy the Sony OLEDs.
The Sony, they look just as good, same technology and everything, but they're a little more expensive. They're like an extra $400 or $500 for the Sony brand.
That was the thing.
And it just seemed like to me like the LG had the better options. Like it had the Magic Remote and with Alexa built in and all that kind of stuff. Where the Sony did not have the pointer and stuff built in the remote, which isn't a big deal, I guess.
Right.
But
I think so. As far as the Sony goes, I want to say, since I bought this thing, it's almost like you had to buy this extra camera that that was optional that you could buy to get the pointer. And I thought, yeah, okay, that's weird.
Yeah,
Where
that is
I
weird.
think LG kind of had it built into the remote.
And some of the setup in this is neat. Like you can do an audio setup where it has intelligent audio, so it will actually, if you go into the settings, you can the remote has a microphone in it, and the TV will play the audio, and the remote will listen to it, and it can adjust your audio what it thinks is correct, and for your room and for your situation, which is really neat. So, but I mean, it sounds good, and it's enjoyable. I ended up unhooking my PC, through Jesus' suggestion. I know he's kind of stepped out for a second, but I unhooked my PC and took it and plugged it into the OLED. And it was a little bit of a task. It was probably a 20 or 30-minute task because all my wires are tucked away and cable tied up underneath the desk and all that stuff. So I went ahead and unhooked all that and drug it in there and hooked it up, and it looked good. It looks really good on the OLED, with HDR, and I turned ray tracing and everything on, and the game drops down to like 30 frames with max settings, ray tracing, and everything on the
Right.
OLED. So
That
I'm over here.
TV technology is just not quite there.
Jesus wanted me to try to play it that way to see it, and I did. I jumped on just to watch it and to see, and then I seen 30 frames, and I was like, okay, okay, we're gonna turn ray tracing off. We're gonna do a few other things here, and then.
There's one other thing I want to mention, Mayo, and Jesus is welcome back, Jesus, and that is that now playing Cyberpunk 2077 on my OLED, my Sony OLED, my 54, 55-inch, whatever it is, and playing that at launch, and even with that first hot fix or whatever they want to call it, it looked good, and I assume it's probably playing in that 60. And again, I'm playing on True Motion, which kind of bumps it a little bit to kind of give me that illusion of the eye that it's playing in that 60. There was something wrong with the movement, and I was telling Gunny Jr. that I'm like, there's something just not quite there. Like the movement feels weird, and it's got and whatever the second hot fix was, that I think it came like midweek this week, and that seemed to kind of cure it. Like maybe it's kind of getting that close to 60 FPS on my OLED, my Sony OLED TV.
Because I was under the impression that hotfix, the new one, wasn't really for much on the consoles. It was just improved stability, and that pretty much would cause less crashing.
That's weird because I definitely felt like it definitely helped. Like especially
maybe they're not listing everything they're fixing on the hotfixes, because I know for the PC specific it says. The only thing that they did with the PC was remove the 8 megabyte save file size limit, and they said that won't fix if your files were corrupted before the update. And then it said for Quest, it says Dum Dum will no longer go missing from Toten 10's entrance during second conflict. See, I never even did that quest, so I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. It's weird. Like, who knows? Maybe it could have been I could have been tired earlier that week, and again playing on a larger TV and just kind of coming back to it. But
for me, man, the sweet spot Mayo is playing it on my OLED at 60 frames in 4K, with performance on DLSS. I think I could have it at balance if I lower some settings, such as like shadows. I know shadows, if you lower them, they really help a lot. Volumetric fog, you can lower that too. You have to turn off ray tracing. If you have ray tracing on, there's just no way you're gonna get 60, dude.
I can't remember what I did exactly, but what I know I turned off ray tracing. I think I left the shadows and all that on, but I also turned on VSync, which I don't do very often. I had it sync with the TV because I knew I was gonna get real high frame rate anyways, and I don't know all the details on this TV because it's still really new to me yet. I know it's capable of doing of 120 FPS, hertz, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know if it's capable of doing 120 in 4K, or if it was because I was only getting 60.
What TV is it?
It's the new LG OLED CX 65-inch model.
Okay, so I think to get the 120 frames enabled on your TV, you have to go into display settings and then advanced display settings. And then in there, it should let you adjust the hertz, like the refresh rate. And I'm pretty sure there you have to enable it to 120.
Whatever's
I didn't
available.
know. I didn't dig hard into it. I went to my desktop because I had my PC hooked to it before I launched the game.
Yeah.
And, it was treating it like a monitor. And on the monitor settings, it was set at 60, and it wouldn't let me change it. So I knew it would be something in the TV, but I'm like, oh, maybe it's only 120 at 1080p.
It also...
Like
It also could be the display that you're using, the port that you're using. Because some TVs, they're very specific about the port that you use.
Yeah,
so
well, it just has two of the HBI or HDMI 2.1.
Yeah.
It has two of those, and then it has a regular port. So I was using the 2.1 port.
Yeah, it has to be the 2.1 port.
I'm not 100% positive it's even a 2.1 cord. It's the one that came with my Xbox Series or my Xbox One X. So it might be.
No.
So, and I could be wrong. And I don't know if I have any of those laying around because for my PC, I use DisplayPort. So.
Yeah, you would have to. You would have to get yourself a 2.1 cord, I think. Then.
Yeah. So I'll probably be my next purchase. I'll probably just buy one of those to make sure and see.
Yeah.
But
get them on
I had no
Amazon
problem. I knew the game wasn't going to run much more than 60 anyways on that TV at 4K.
Yeah.
So I was happy with that little bit there. And like I said, when I turned on VSync, it never dropped. It was always at 60 frames, whatever the setting I had was. Now, on my PC, Jesus, this is kind of unlike me. What I did, I went on my PC, I actually changed my game back to 1080p resolution. And I turned everything to ultra with ray tracing on ultra. And I get like a constant like 70 frames, and it still looks really good on my monitor at 1080p with everything turned on. So it's kind of like that balance. If I could turn ray tracing and that off, I can play in 1440 and get 60, or I can go back to 1080p and turn ray tracing and all that on ultra, and the game gives me like 70 frames and still looks really good. So I actually have been playing the last couple times when I played it on my PC. I've been playing it on the 1080p on ultra, and I didn't know there's a big difference at all. Usually that stuff bugs me, and I'm like, oh, it's 1080p, it's so blurry.
Actually, fun fact, the other day I actually lowered, so I went into my display settings and I changed my display to 1080p 120, and I was getting the 1080p one. What is Gunny doing?
What is he doing over there?
Is Gunny eating dinner? What the fuck's he doing?
Yes, I think Gunny is eating dinner, and we have a picture of his table.
Yeah, we're getting a live feed of his fucking dinner table. This is really weird. But yeah, anyways, we'll continue with the show, I guess. This is what you get when you record on Christmas, guys.
Right.
What the fuck was I saying? Oh, yeah, I changed my display to 1080p at 120, because my TV could do 1080p 120, but not 4K 120. Yours can do 4K 120 and 1080p 120, but I changed mine to 1080p, and then I set it to 120 VSync, and it was getting roughly like above, most of the time above 70, 80 frames, and then it would sometimes dip into like 70, 60, and that's with ray tracing on, though. It would dip back to like 60, 56 at most, and then it would keep the display pretty good. And the ray tracing in this game, it has to be some of the best ray tracing that I've seen in any other game. It's because there was this area I was walking in, right? Like I think it was Japantown, maybe. It was like a little market area, and like there was a lot of water on the ground, a lot of puddles and shit. And I remember I walked around the corner, and there was this huge puddle, and there was like a neon sign on the wall in front of us, and like it was reflected on the puddle perfectly. Like I was like, holy shit, that looks fucking real. Like that looks fucking insane how good that reflection is. But then I turned off the ray tracing to see like how much of a difference it would make. And yeah, you could still see something being reflected on the puddle, but it was really blurry. Like it was like
it was just like a tint of the light.
Yeah. Yeah, like if the color of the light was yellow, then you would see like a yellow light being reflected on the puddle. But then if you turn on ray tracing, even on medium. Like, that's where I had it on medium. Because they're saying that if you change it between medium and ultra, it doesn't really do much of a difference. It does hog more performance, but the actual visual difference isn't significant enough to, like, warrant that change, you know? So if you have it on medium, you're going to get the same benefits that you're getting on ultra with the ray tracing on Cyberpunk. But yeah, playing with that, I was fucking with the ray tracing with that, and I was fucking with all the settings with the lighting and all that. And even without ray tracing, the game looks incredible, but with it on, it looks insanely good. Now, I wonder when the next-gen updates come, Mayo, if Cyberpunk will get ray tracing on the new consoles. I doubt it. I don't think so.
It's such a hit, you know.
Yeah, that's such a... Like, if right now they could do 30, you know, in 4K or whatever that they were displaying at, could you imagine, like, bumping up the resolution and everything else in the game, not just the resolution, but like the fog, the rain, the clouds, the lighting, the shadows, and then you're bumping up the fucking what do you call that, the ray tracing. Then that's gonna take a lot of resources, you know, and I don't think people are gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough.
Not even at 30, dude. Like, it would be. It would be a miracle if they could pull it off at 30. God damn, that looks good. Fuck you, Gunny, you asshole.
Yeah, he's over there, like, showing us the dinner plates and everything.
Yeah, he's over here showing us dinner plates. God, no, that looks fucking delicious. Anyways, like I want to fucking order some food now or something, man. Like, I'm fucking hungry, man. God.
But, Jesus, I was going to throw out here real quick. I saw an article today, and I actually just sent you the link to it. There is actually a hidden ray tracing mode in this game. It's called Cinematic.
Oh, yeah,
RTS.
the cinematic. I've seen that, yeah.
And so in the article, there is a how to get to it on Steam. You have to go into your game settings or on Steam and go to properties, and you, just like you would enable yourself into like a beta, under the settings, you type in the
ray tracing
cinematic _RTX.
Yeah.
I think is what it is, and it will give you this option in the game.
Now, as far as from what I'm seeing with the cinematic ray tracing and the actual high ultra ray tracing, I don't see much of a difference. Do you?
No, like I haven't.
Like, I'm looking at it now, even on the photos that they have, and it doesn't seem like that much better.
Yeah, and what's Psycho RTX and then cinematic? That's crazy.
Yeah, Psycho RTX is that's the maximum you can set. Everything in the game has like a ultra, and then it has some settings have a psycho setting that you can set it to. So.
Oh, see, I didn't even do that far. I think all my stuff's on ultra.
Yeah, there's like only a few though. I think maybe like lighting is one of them you can put on psycho, and then what else? RTX is something you can put on psycho.
Usually I check for all that. Usually I make sure everything's turned all the way up.
That's too much. Your PC will be fucking crawling, man. Like my PC, dude. Like, I turned everything to psycho, and like the shit was like, oh, we could do this at like 26 frames. Is that what you want, Jesus? You want 26 frames? I was like, oh, fuck, I guess. I have to turn shit down, I guess. Fuck.
Almost unplayable. Isn't it?
Yeah.
And I remember back in the young Jesus day when he would be on the podcast talking about, you don't see the difference between 30 frames and anything past 60 or whatever, but, you know.
Yeah.
I got you fixed. You got that as cyber enhancement.
Hell yeah. But enough cyberpunk talk. Let's move on here and discuss what I also been playing this week. I've also been playing some Call of Duty, Mayo. And,
I'm just talking today.
Yeah. I think you might like it. I don't know. This one is not anything like the last one. Like, it is sort of, but not really. Like, it's cool. It's a cool campaign, but it's nothing like the last one. It's way different. But as far as the multiplayer and everything else, it kind of feels the same. It might feel a little bit different with the perks and like there's no doors in this one. It feels less tactical at times. You know, it feels more run and gun. But playing this last night, I ended up buying the season pass. I don't even know why. I honest to God don't know why. I think I was just really drunk, and I was like, I got points in my account. I could afford this, and I just pressed buy, and it bought it. So I got the new character. It's a new operator. I don't know. I don't even know his name. He's like some like one eyeball having character. But other than that, whatchamacallit, there's been new maps added to the game. So there's one that's really, really, really bad. I don't like this map at all. It's just, it seems to me more like a Halo map. Like they totally copied some Halo map. I don't know which Halo map, but I swear to God I've played a map that's just like this in Halo. It's called ICBM in the game, and it's a very tiny map. You're inside a nuclear silo place, and it's a circle. It's a very small circle, and there's the top level. There's a little pillar, like a little like platform you can climb up in the middle to kind of be above the fucking everybody. And then there's an underground under the middle. Like there's an underground under the middle part of the map. So like it's a very tiny map, and like pretty much it was just like spawn die, spawn die, spawn die, spawn trap, spawn trap, spawn trap. Like it was such a bad design of this map. Whoever came up with this map should get fired from Activision because it was such a bad design. Like it really is. It's fucking trash, dude. Like you don't even have a chance. Like there was this guy. I was in one spot of the map, and these guys kept spawning. And I was just shooting them as they spawned. Like they didn't even have a chance to like run. They didn't have a chance to move. Like not even move. It was just like literally you appear on the map, and I was shooting you. And they just kept appearing in front of me, and I just kept shooting them. And I'm like, wow, like, like who the fuck approved this stupid design of this map or these spawn points? You know, like the spawn points are all fucked. You know, and it was just really, really bad. I don't know, Mayo, but that map was fucking shit. There's other maps. There's a new map called the Raid, and that's a map that we've seen in Modern Warfare 3. That was a map like in this mansion, this like super high-tech, futuristic mansion. That was in Modern Warfare 3, I believe. Either Modern Warfare 3 or Advanced Warfare, but I'm pretty sure it was Modern Warfare 3. And then there was there's another map that they've added as well, and I haven't played that one, but there's a couple other maps they've added. Oh, like a mall? There's a mall map, like you're inside a mall or something. I forget what I think it's called the Mall or something. Wow, what a unique name.
Right.
But yeah, so there's a mall map. Also, now that if you bought the season pass, ladies and gentlemen, if you have Modern Warfare and Cold War, you'll notice that both of the games will be on the same launcher. I don't know if it's like this on the consoles, but on the PC, when you launch the game, they're all in the same main menu. It's kind of like the way Battlefield does their games now, where like when you launch Battlefield, it shows you all the battlefields, and you can launch any Battlefield game from that menu. You can like say if you're playing Battlefield 4 and then you want to switch over to Battlefield 3 or whatever, Battlefield 5 or whatever, you can just switch over whenever you want. Similar to that in this game where like if you're in the main menu, it asks you if you want to launch into Modern Warfare, into Call of Duty Warzone, or into the Cold War multiplayer zombies. And so it's all in the same menu now. And at the same time, the Season Pass, like I was saying earlier, the Season Pass is like cross progression. Like like if you buy it on Cold War and you play it in Modern Warfare, it's the same Season Pass. I think you get the same, like you're ranking up that Season Pass no matter what game you play. Even if you play Warzone, I believe you're still ranking up the Season Pass, because I believe the Season Pass is really for Warzone, right? But if you play the multiplayer, it ranks up like that too, I think. So, but yeah, because they always have like these challenges on this Season Pass thing. They have these challenges where like get 3 kills with the rocket launcher, get 5 kills with the sniper rifle, or fucking whatever. And I'm pretty sure like if you go into Warzone, they have other challenges like land near the gulag or whatever, or land in this part of the map or whatever. So there's all that. I think there's a new map in Warzone. I'm not sure if it's out yet, but I've seen the leaks or I've seen the announcements or something. some kind of island. I forget what the island is called. It's called something island. I don't know. Either that or Warzone is getting expanded, like the map is getting a new area to it. It's one of the two. I don't fucking know which one it is because I don't play Warzone much anymore. So I'm kind of lost on all that. But yeah, like I have no interest in playing Warzone anymore. Like it's just kind of like it's almost like what happened with what's that other game I used to play a lot? Like Apex Legends. Like I was really into Apex for the longest time. I fucking was into it. Like I love the season passes. I love playing the game, and then all of a sudden I kind of just fell off, and like I just didn't have no desire going back.
Same thing.
And that's kind of how I feel about Warzone. I have no desire going back to it. Like I see it there, and I'm like, cool, it's there. And I sometimes think, should I just play with like somebody, like? But the thing is, no one's ever on when I'm on, so like, there's no real friends to play with. And I was like, if I play with randoms, will it be as fun? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. So I kind of decided to put that on the side now, and I won't be playing Warzone anytime soon.
Yeah, somebody at my work asked me about what we thought of the new Warzone map, and I'm like, I haven't played it for a while, and he said it's a really small map.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of Sanook from PUBG. Yeah.
I gotcha. Yeah, I'm like, I haven't played Warzone in a while. Like, I don't have Call of Duty installed on my PC right now. And I'm like, maybe I'll reinstall Modern Warfare and just play it for a little bit, you know? And I was a little confused, like I said, because on Battle.net, it only lists Call of Duty Warzone on my games, and I'm like, where's my Modern Warfare, you know? And I clicked on the other ones, and it shows, you know, it says for like to buy, you know, Cold War and all that, and the remastered Call of Duty, or the Modern Warfare 2, the remastered one they have on there, but they didn't have my game I owned on there. I'm like, what? Where did my game go? You know? So then I clicked on the download for the Warzone Call of Duty, and it was over 200 gigs. So I'm like, I'm just gonna assume my game is packed in that because that's why it's so large, you know. So, but I was all sorts of confused there for a minute with it.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's all that with the Call of Duty side of things. Besides all that, I haven't really played much else. What else did I play this week? I'm trying to think of anything else that I played this week. Really, that has kind of been it, man. Like I've really just been in Call of Duty land and Cyberpunk land for the last week or two, and I really am enjoying those games. I know that Microsoft Flight Simulator got an update for VR this week, and I kind of want to go back into that and check that out. So, like, apparently now all the planes are in VR, so you can fly. Yeah, you can fly like, I think all the planes now in VR, so that's cool. I kind of want to check that out. I have it installed, and what else? I'm trying to think. That's really it. I was looking at the Steam sale last night and even today, and there's nothing that I want to buy. Like what's going on right now? Like, there's no games out that I really want, I feel like. I don't know if Cyberpunk has just really just brainwashed me to like want to play Cyberpunk. Like, that game really is like a fucking addicting game. I don't know what it is about it, but I get in, right, and I'm like, okay, I'll do one job, and then like I'm out, right? No, dude. Next thing you know, I've been playing Cyberpunk for the last 2 hours. I'm on this.
It's 9 hours later.
Yeah, I'm on this fucking random side quest, like I'm doing some random shit about murdering some guy for revenge for this other guy. And then I murder him, and then oh, good job. Then I get credits, and I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, more credits. But I kind of want to upgrade my V because I know there's different cyber upgrades that you can get. One of them is a double jump. One of them is a super sprint, like this like super dash sprint type thing. There's another one that you can get like these little like wrist rocket launcher type things that kind of like the Mandalorian has. You know, like the little things that pop up out of his wrist that go beep, 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 and they like shoot like little missiles. You can get one of those for your character in Cyberpunk. You can get like these eye upgrades for your eyeballs in the game. You can get a bunch of other shit. So I don't know. Should I start the game over Or should I just continue playing with what I have now? Because they told me that once I beat it, they were like, hey, you get some cool new shit to play with if you go back and play the game still. And I was like, cool. But then I tried to look for it and I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, that's a tough one because if you start over completely, will you lose your save? I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, how much different is the game going to be? You know, yeah, there is decisions that you make that will change. But I feel like almost I would just maybe stay where you're at, go back and do those side quests, and then go back and you could always do some side quests and then go back and play the ending and see if it changed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could go back and you do all the side quests and you can go back and see if it changed, you know, instead of going back and starting over because you know you probably won't play through all the side quests if you start over. You might build a different route, but and then too, you might be able to continue to earn XP by doing these side quests, and you can put points in that and get to your double jump a lot sooner than you probably will, you know, starting over.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm debating. It's a debate. Also, Greedfall is on Xbox Game Pass now. I kind of want to play that game, but I don't know.
Yeah, I almost when I got my TV set up, I plugged the Xbox One X into it.
Yeah.
And I was on Game Pass going, what am I going to play on this new TV? You know, without dragging my PC in there and hooking it up. And so I launched Game Pass and I was scrolling through, trying to find something to play. And I didn't have any desire to play any of them. I was just like looking, and then I seen that on there. But then I was like, I don't know if I'm really going to get into like a role-playing type game or anything like that right away. So I didn't download it. And instead I just went ahead and launched Forza Horizon 4. Because I knew that game had HDR, and I wanted to see how it looked, you know, and see how it, you know, the frame rates and all that kind of stuff was, where it was like locked to 60 or whatever, you know. And so I played around with it, and it looked really good with the HDR and everything on. So, Gunny's over there showing us computer mice yet.
Yeah, I see that. Anyways, that's all I've been playing this week. What have you been playing, Mayo?
You know, besides Cyberpunk, the only other thing I played this week, I had a game gifted to me a while back. And I think it was, I'm trying to remember now, I'm pretty sure it was Mandalorian who sent it to me. It's either him or Native. And it was the best game ever, Jesus. The game, I should probably gift this game to you. Because it's a sequel of my second, you know, probably my favorite game of all time. And even though I don't talk about it on the podcast, you know, but it was My Name is Mayo 2. It's a sequel. And yes, there is a game called My Name is Mayo. So, being the greatest game ever, somebody saw that they made a My Name is Mayo 2, which I was not aware of at the time, and they gifted it to me. And I'm pretty sure I said it was Mandalorian, I'm pretty sure. But so I went and accepted the gift, and so I played a little bit of My Name is Mayo 2, and you know, this is a click game. So you have a jar of mayonnaise, and you click on it, and it keeps track of how many times you click. It has different stories. There's like 5 or 6 different stories, and when you click on it, it'll track that story. And so the first one, it was like a dating life of Mayo. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be great, you know. And so you click on it, and it talks about like different things that happen, and it'll give you a little piece of story. And the Mayo jar will have like decorations around them according to what was involved in that little piece of story they give you. And they said, and the next thing is like your next goal is to click on the jar 200 times and get the next piece of the story. So you click on it 200 times with your mouse, and it unlocks the next part of the story. So then you click on the part of the story, and it starts tracking that, but it gives you the new update, and it changes what happens in your background. So then you have a new background of the Mayo situation, you know, and there's like one of him growing up, there's a dating one, but then it has like fun life facts and stuff too they kind of throw in there.
Like what's a fun life fact that they threw at you, bro?
I don't remember what they were. You have to give me a couple minutes. I'll pull the game up live on the podcast. I'll give you a fun life fact, Jesus. But yeah, it just, you know, it's a clicking game, you know, so I mean, you just click away and
My name is Mayo too.
Yes, my name is. It's probably really expensive being such a good game and potential game of the year. You might be paying a lot for this thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I could buy it on PlayStation for $1.49.
It even made it to PlayStation. Nice.
Yeah, I made it to the PlayStation and yeah, on PC.
So far, I've unlocked. It was just telling me, oh, I've gotten 40 out of the 50 achievements so far, Jesus.
Oh, wow. Wow, Mayo.
Cruise. So, we're going to get some fun facts here, Jesus.
Okay.
Random fact number 77. Space smells like seared steak.
Space dust?
I want to be in space now.
How do they know? How do they know that? They don't know that.
Random fact number 56 says eggplants are a berry.
I'm gonna fact check you. Eggplants are a berry?
Yes, berries.
Yeah, okay, you're right. They are classified as a berry.
Okay. So here's one you need, Jesus. Fun fact number 650. According to a Japanese study, looking at your cute animal pictures can boost your focus.
So what do these guys want to make like a fun fact like type game, but they didn't know how to make one, so they're like, you know what, let's just add a Mayo jar that people can click on.
They like to tell a story.
Okay.
And I'll just give you a little. I'm just gonna run down through this real quick. And the first one, the love one from Mayo, it said the world changed, but it was still made in the shape of, and the love my life was bitching. And it just goes on, and you can just, it literally, like when you click on that and you track it, it just has different stuff in the background.
Okay, Mayo, I'm done hearing about this fucking game, man.
Best game ever.
No.
You can be done here about this game.
Anything else you played?
No, that's pretty much it for me. It's all been Cyberpunk and setting this TV up and watching movies and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
good
stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, mainly like I said, Cyberpunk on that TV looks great. Hopefully this week I actually have 3 days off, Jesus. So I am going to be playing some Cyberpunk. Maybe I'll be finished with it by the end of this week then. He's playing, but he's still playing Tabletop Simulator or something over there.
Yeah, he's playing something on there. I don't know what the fuck. What is he even drinking? Like, what is that? What do you think that is, man? With that pink drink?
I don't know.
Is he drinking mimosas?
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what my guess was gonna be.
He's probably drinking mimosa, isn't he? Fucking getting drunk over there on the show while we're doing serious stuff over here. He's over there drinking. Like, what the fuck, Gunny? Look at him. Look at him.
Yeah, look at the things we have to go through. He's over here showing us food, showing us his dinner table, eating dinner
with his family. You know, like this asshole. He even ate like a dessert. You saw the pie that he was eating earlier? Yeah. Eating fucking pie slices and shit and putting like whipping cream on them and shit. Asshole.
This is what happens when you do a holiday podcast episode.
Yeah, he's showing off his house. What's he doing over there?
Yeah, now we're getting to work. He's not taking us to the bathroom, is he?
He forgets he's recording. He forgets he's live and he's like taking us to the bathroom. Oh, shit. Fucking Gunny, man. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I believe it's time to move on now. And
who's this? He might have some good timing over here pretty soon here.
Okay. We'll see. Gunny said to wait. What's he doing? Gunny, what are you doing, Gunny? Gunny, hurry up, motherfucker, you.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a little bit yet.
Okay. We'll see. He's taking
He's over at the door now. He's like, I'll be back later, guys.
Alright, well, hopefully he's back soon here. And he's going to talk about what he's been playing, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Gunny.
Oh.
You guys?
Oh, there you are, motherfucker.
Oh,
You.
I was eating Christmas dinner.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me, guys.
Real
Yeah, it
nice.
was. You didn't share very well though.
Yeah.
No, I had the iPad out and I was showing you all the great things that we had. We had some prime rib, which was basically just seared redneck style, and mashed potatoes, and what else? Green beans, Kyle? Which you didn't touch. He didn't like them.
I had some of the green bean casseroles. It was good.
Fuck
Good
you
stuff.
guys, you assholes. Anyways. Let's move on now. Talk about what you've been playing, Gunny.
Hey, so you know what? I've been playing something I've been playing for probably years and years.
Oh, okay.
And I brought my son on here. Yo, bro. Bro. Are you there, bro?
I don't know. Am I, bro?
Dude, you just call me bro. You're like my son. But I call you bro anyway. So, Kyle, tell me about this Minecraft thing that I know that now now for you listeners out there, you've heard me talk about. Okay, first of all, I want to go back to the fact that this question has been asked several times on this show over the last 4 or 5 years that this show has been in existence, and that is the first game that the game that you've ever cried in. And for me, it's been Minecraft, and I know that I've shared this story over the years, and one of them included my son here, Kyle, about setting my little Wolfie dog on fire. And this is the culprit right here. This is the guy, right, that took that thing. Kyle, now what is that thing called that
You cried because you set your wolf on fire?
you set my wolf on fire, bro? Is it called a flint? Is that what it's called, Kyle?
A flint steel.
Flint steel. Thank you. I just want to share that experience that sent me into a trauma mode. Now this goes back to, this is a good story, guys. Stick with it. So this goes back to the Xbox 360. Now, Mayo, you go back even further back into the PC world with direct messages from Mojang, and I know we've talked about, Kyle. What is it? What is that game that we played before Minecraft? We were kind of setting ourselves up for it, getting ready for the Minecraft on the console. And I think it was something like, it had something to do with zombies or something. It was more of that earlier gameplay. What was the name of that game? Do you remember?
I
What?
do not remember.
It's still in existence today. I know you play it on PC once in a blue moon, but
7 Days to Die?
no, this was like it was almost like a hobo Minecraft game, Kyle. That I know that they've made a couple of them, but they haven't updated them in years. And it was something that me and Kyle used to play back on the 360 days. But we have had literally friends, Kyle, that we've grown up with, and today, like, they've kind of joined us on PC. And now I know, Kyle, that you play with those guys on PC.
You mean Castle Miner?
Yes, thank you. Now, Kyle, I know
Castle Miners,
you've had friends that you continue to play with to this day that, I talk to their parents, and we've grown up with them, and it's just been a really good experience, over the years. Is that
Yep.
right, Kyle?
Yep, Xbox has brought us all together.
It's brought us all together, and it's made us a family, and we talk to each other every year, whether it be through a Facebook or a text message or a video call. And it's just been unreal as far as like how close we've come together. And I know that even when they brought Skype together, even on the Xbox 360, where using Connect, the original Connect, which I hold dear to this day. I have it. It's not hooked up, but it's something that I'll never get rid of. It's kind of a piece of my heart, and that's something that it's memorable to me. So now we all have cameras on our PCs and our laptops. So, but let's move forward, Kyle, to this something that I'm unfamiliar with, and something you've kind of gotten me into as far as mods for the PC. So, why don't you tell me kind of what I've been playing, because this is something I can't really explain to the community. As far as playing, I think you call it the Java edition or the Bedrock edition for the PC, which is the Mojang.com. Right, Kyle?
Yeah.
So it's called the Bedrock edition.
It's called the Java edition.
The Java edition. I get those two confused, always mixed up. And as far as what's Mojang.com and what's Windows 10 and what's on the console edition. So as far as the mod, what is that mod pack that you first introduced me to? Not just recently in the last week.
RL Craft.
RO Craft. So this one seems pretty cool. I like this one. So I know it's really hardcore and kind of bring me through it as far as like how what you need to do first.
Okay, well, RLCraft in itself is a very hard mod pack. You have to survive off of sticks and stones while everything is trying to break your bones. It's just hell.
Yeah, it's really tough, and I know that it's not just that. Kyle, we were kind of brought up, again into the, the early console thing of like, hey, this is how you break a tree, and you use your arm, and then you make a stone or a wooden axe, and then you can make a stone axe or whatever. But I know it's a little more in depth than that. And so, as far as this survival thing, Kyle, how far have you made it personally without me?
Personally, I have not made it that far. It is a good mod pack, and I understand the fundamentals of it. I just do not have the dedication to actually pull through and make a let's play of it.
Yeah. Now, is that because Kyle, you use so many mods or whatever? Is that kind of what you're into? Kind of more of those, those aids as far as like what you can do to abilities and things and cheats and things like that, or is that something you're more into?
I'm more into building.
Yeah, and see, I'm more into the like. To me, I'm more of like how I can like maybe build staircases down into the caves and things like that. So one thing I was kind of intrigued about making those rockets. Like, tell me more about like the making rockets and going to the other planets or Mars or the moon or something.
Okay, well, you need another mod which is not included in the original RLCraft, and the one that comes with Advanced Rocketry installed is a mod pack called Omni Factory. It's science based, and it's not RLCraft, but it's still also not easy because there's a lot of hard mobs.
Yeah. Now, Mayo, is that something you've been now, Kyle? I know that you introduced me into the mod thing as far as like we were using the Twitch app or something to use the Minecraft mods for almost like a launcher type thing, or like a what am I thinking of here, Mayo? I know that Curse Forge is something that Kyle's been using more.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's something more of a portal. Is that the word I'm looking for?
More of a hub.
A hub.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the only thing I really messed with much back in the early mod days of Minecraft, we used a lot of Forge, and would download different mod packs, and we would do different playthroughs of different, like creating different worlds where it changed what was in the world and stuff like that. But we never really did a whole lot more besides that.
Yeah, anything different for you, Kyle?
No, not really.
I mean, so kind of what are you into now? Is it just more of a versus mode as far as like what do you call those things on Minecraft?
PvP.
Are you into? Is that something you focus more of your time on?
Okay, I think I might as well just explain it here. During the start of when I first got Java, I was starting off in the PvP community, which is a more unique sense of gaming because it includes a lot of more unique factors that a lot of other games do not include. And I started off liking those, but recently I've been starting to drift more into the modding scene because it's more fun, you get to do more stuff, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I know you made like a little modding pack or something, and that's something that anybody can download. And is that something that you publish like on CurseForge, or how do you do that? Like, how do you even like how do people find it, or what's the hub for it?
Okay, well, right now it's currently an unverified project, which means nobody can access or download it. But when I do get all the mods integrated and working with each other, so nothing's broken, and once I start working on cutting down bugs, I think that I'll definitely try and get it to become an official mod pack so everyone can download it.
Nice. Yeah, it's amazing, guys, just how, it's something that that my son has kind of grown up with, and just how it's evolved and everything. And, and it's just something I kind of dabble in, as far as like, especially going from my Xbox One, my Xbox 360 starting out, loading it up on my Xbox One original to my Xbox One X to my Xbox Series X, and seeing how these things all kind of tie in with all, of course it's a Microsoft owned product now, and seeing how things work in the cloud, and and going to the Java edition, which is kind of its separate thing, which will eventually require I want to say it's a Microsoft account or just a general email. I don't know. Is that something, Kyle? What is it? Is it a Microsoft account that'll be, or more of an email account?
Okay.
What's
So
the
if you have a Microsoft account, Mojang is going to be migrating to Microsoft sooner or later, probably because they made some sort of deal. So they're going to do that, and then right now my account is unmigrated, so you need a Microsoft account to actually like have Minecraft, or something like that. I don't really know.
Yeah,
I don't really pay too much
it's a
attention.
slow process. I know it's something that they take their time on, and something I have a really good time on. And as far as like kind of going from that survival to creative to a modded creative, or it's been fun. So I'll continue to and for the listeners out there, this is something I continue to play with my son, as far as like we've been playing that survival thing, and once in a while we'll bring in, it's something I kind of like that you can do on the fly, as far as you'll bring in let's say a cheat, and it could be something as far as like something we do cosmetic, where I'll wear something nice, like an armored helmet or something, and then we kind of get out of it and we're back into that survival craft again. So it's definitely like maybe I think of it almost like an exploit, but we're still in that survival mode. And I just a game I'll definitely adore for a very long time. So thank you, Kyle, for joining us. I appreciate it.
Yep, no problem, Chief.
All right, guys, I just want to move on to a few other games I've been playing on, which is probably on Game Pass, and especially on the console itself of Xbox. I haven't spent a lot of time with PlayStation, but this week I did get a chance to play that Resident Evil Resistance, which was part of I want to say it's part of the Xbox Gold Play Days, which I don't think it's every week, but they did have that 4-player co-op experience of where you don't get the full addition to Resident Evil 3, but just more of the Resistance. Now this plays out like, I want to say it's more like a 7 Days to Die, or like a Friday the 13th game. Mm-hmm. Jesus, I think you enjoyed that game, I want to say, and you and Ryan and the other guys in the crew. It was a short download, and now when I play this, I'm not into these kind of games at all. The kind of the hide and go seek, and play as the director of the game. And this is something that did have, where you as the director and maybe 3 other players, or 4, I don't know, see if you can survive. And it's something I did not care for at all. Again, it was just kind of a reassurance. But it was simple, I will say, for those of you that are interested in a game like this, where I went through the training session of, hey, this is how you lay down a trap, and you access this camera, and you can use like a machine gun or spawn a zombie, and it's and it could be effective or ineffective depending on other players, I think. And again, that's not something they've shown, but I went through that tutorial and basically I uninstalled it. That's
Yeah.
Exactly what I did.
I had the same thoughts in this game. I played this game a little while back on the PC. I was in the beta for it. And I don't know. I didn't find that fun. It was like a 1 versus 5 kind of thing where you have control over like cameras and you can see where people are going and you can place down some traps, but then you can kind of, as the person that's trying to kill these other players, I think if you're the nemesis or I can't remember who you are, but you can go in and you can try to kill them and stuff. And your objective is to, prevent them from getting out. I didn't enjoy it myself, but
Yeah, it was something like, again, the tutorial was spawn Mr. X, spawn a zombie,
that's who it
spawn
was. It was Mr.
a
X.
creature, one of those like ugly creatures like you would in Resident Evil
And
2,
you
the
could take
remake, which was
control of them.
awesome.
So you could take control of them and become the creature and try to kill the person, or just let the creature do it by itself.
Right, you spawn them basically in a certain, like you. It kind of gives you that camera movement of like, okay, where do you want to spawn them at? It depends on what room and what camera you're looking at. And there was a lot of control over there. There was a lot of control where you can like place them, like by the front door, by the back, the side door of where you want to place them. Yeah, so if it's for you and that's what you like being, and I could definitely see the hype of like where like, hey, like I just want to be the player and kind of throw at me what you're giving me, as the director, and we don't even want to talk to the director till the end of the game, and say, hey, that was fun, we survived and we got through whatever you were giving us, and yeah, kind of got Friday the 13th, right? So yeah, or a 7 Days to Die, but yeah, again, not for me. I'm not in the hide and go seek games or anything to that nature. So moving on,
It's for a very particular audience, I think.
very. So moving on to Monster Train, and I want to say this is in the Game Pass.
Yeah, I saw this in the Game Pass the other day because this is a card-based game, right?
Yeah. So what this is basically where the set. Okay, so I'll start off with like, okay, a card battler, right? So again, it's almost like what's that game I play all the time, Mayo? That's the card battler, which I really love.
Slay the Spire.
Thank you, Slay the Spire. I love that game. It's great, and it's similar in nature, where it is that single player. It's not a versus mode online, and so, but I think it does give you where you can check the other enemy's intentions as far as like what they're, whether they're gonna. So the difference is like they have like there's no block on it, right? Like they can't block incoming attacks like it is like a Slay the Spire type things. But what they can do is like, oh, they're going to heal up or they're going to attack, right? So I think currently right now, like maybe this game's in early access. I don't even know. I haven't checked. But it's kind of like those two things, right? Mm-hmm. So, and it's not something that I've even checked. But what it does is like the setting is basically you're on a train and there's like 3 different levels, or probably the way they look at it is there's like 3 different, 3 different trains or whatever, like the same train but different, sections of the train. So, and it's kind of like they're kind of stacked up on top of each other. So it's a little strategic as far as like where you're gonna place your main guy. But I think the thing that's like maybe a little confusing for me right now is that where if I don't place down a train guy, but I can still fight them, I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? Maybe I haven't played enough. Yeah, it's a little weird right now. How I either fight them or. But again, I think if I have a trained person, that person can have different health abilities, as far as like, healing or things like that. So what happens is on those 3 levels, you can fight them. But on the 4th level is kind of where I'll just say my train engine is. And it has a health bar. And then they either finish off the enemy or or your train crashes or something like that. But I mean, right now it's not something that I'm not too hyped on. I'd rather play a Slay the Spire. Maybe this game needs to bake a little more before something I feel worthy about.
Yeah, I just think that game has such a weird name because it's a card-based game, and it's called Monster Train.
Yeah.
It's nothing about cards, and you don't think of trains when you think of a card-based game either. It just strikes me so odd. But I heard it's a good game.
Well, okay, so there is that game out there. Isn't it called Rattropolis? And I want to say that's on Steam. And it's almost of that same nature where that's a game where I'm like, okay, it's a card battler, but you're like in this rat nation. It's almost like it doesn't matter where they put the setting,
Mm-hmm.
It's all about the cards and the buffs and stuff like that, right? So there's been other games that I played that I've not even talked about, maybe not even the show, where it was like Heroes and Generals or World War II or something. It's almost like you can take a card battler and just put it in an ice cream parlor for all I care,
Mm-hmm.
What's better, strawberry, chocolate? Like it's just, yeah. It's all personal preference, really. Yeah, you don't see a train going by. It does kind of do that where it's like, where do you want the train to go? Do you want it to go towards the store of like your buffs or do you want it to go towards, something different, like upgrading cards, So it's kind of like in that setting. So yeah, if you're into trains and car battlers, man, download that one. I'm definitely going to play more of it because I do love that Slay the Spire game. And that's more of that magic and a little bit of monster stuff in there. And I think that one's more well fleshed out as far as the single player game goes. Played a little bit of State of Decay 2 on the Xbox Series S. And yeah, I think it looks a little better. But definitely, I was talking to Mayo about this earlier, and it definitely plays a lot. Almost all the games that I think that are enhanced definitely play more better as far as like they're just snappier. Going into that menu, it's just so much faster. Getting that your bird in the sky on Assassin's Creed Valhalla, it's just so much faster. When I go into a room, and you know how like Jesus, you've played those Assassin's Creed games before where you'll go into a hut or a building or something, and it's almost like it's like dark, then it becomes a little lighter so you can see more of what's in it. It's just so much faster with that SSD drive. It's just amazing. And it definitely you can tell it's saving a game. It's just snappy.
Yeah.
So it's definitely playing the SSD a lot better. Moving on to another Game Pass game, MotoGP Motorcycle Racing. Now, I know I've talked about one of those games before on Game Pass, and it came to Game Pass, guys, as a motorcycle racer. Not like a dirt bike, but just more of a street track.
Yeah.
And I've actually driven a couple of those in real life, and it does have that, like, it doesn't turn like a 180 or a 200 radius, of like a dirt bike type thing. It's more of a something you drive on like a pavement style type thing, and tweaking a little bit of the settings, playing with the controller. And I think I was playing it on, I don't remember. I want to say it was on console on the TV, or it could have been on Game Pass PC. But basically, the fucking game is boring. I'll just say it right now. It was just like, this reminds me, yeah, it's one of those games, guys. It definitely hits that like real life sort of like, they're designed that way. You turn, and it only turns so far for a reason. It's not a dirt bike, right? It's just, you're not supposed to do 80 miles an hour into a corner. Right? It's not a GT car. It's not Forza. God, it's not Dirt Rally 2.0.
It's a simulator, right? It's for the it's like an F1 game, right?
Absolutely an F1 game.
Yeah.
And now I guess the difference between that's a good correlation between this MotoGP and F1 is where MotoGP is 2-wheel, F1 is 4-wheel, and so I kind of know the basics of how an F1 car works as far as gasoline and electric, and how those things work because I do follow F1 on Twitter. I've seen the races, and so yeah, there's different things of going in and around a corner, and it's not fun to me. It's just not right. Going super slow. And there's no drifting or sticking down. To the road.
Yeah, you slow down. And
you can't drift, right? You can't kick that back wheel out. It doesn't work.
It's like watching NASCAR. It's kind of boring. Let's be real.
There you go. Perfect example.
I bet Mayo's probably are you a NASCAR fan, Mayo?
No, I am not.
Being a big old Ohioan, I thought he would be a big old NASCAR fan or something. I don't know.
Being out there near Indiana.
Probably has a big 3 painted on his car.
Right, he's got a front bumper in his spare bedroom of like a crash car. This is how you do it right here.
He ran onto the track and took it off of there when a car crashed one time.
Grabbed it,
took off,
ran home. Nobody's supposed to know about this thing, this front bumper right here. I almost lost my life to it.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
The
only time I've ever liked NASCAR is Talladega Nights. That is the absolutely only time I've ever liked NASCAR.
That was a funny,
that fucking movie is hilarious. Fucking Ricky Bobby.
Chicken and bacon.
That's fucking hilarious. But yeah, like all right, like honestly, you couldn't probably get me like to go and watch a NASCAR race. But if you said like, hey Jesus, you can go and watch a NASCAR race and like have all the beer you want, I might do it. You know?
You'd be over there on Twitter.
I'd be fucking drunk and shit.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of fun in person though. Like I've been to 1 or 2 races before in person. Like when I was a young kid, in high school, I was like a grocery manager at a grocery store in Kellogg's. It gave me passes to go to the race at Indy. Yeah. The Indy track up there where they do the 500 and all that stuff. And we had like starting line seats at the start line. And it was like a suite. They gave us free food and all that kind of stuff.
You had all the fancy shit, man. Come on, you had the fucking suite and shit. Come on, man.
It was pretty neat, but it was like 100-some degrees out, and the cars are just so fast.
Yeah,
but it's so much. It's just better to watch it on TV, anyways.
Yeah, you get way more stats and everything.
They had TVs around, and you can see where they're at on the track, and you can hear them. You don't know what's going on until they go by in about half a second, and then it's over.
Motorcycles are probably even worse. They're small and shit. Anyways, Gunny, stop your stupid motorcycle talk. Just sounds
that was dumb. No, I thought I'd try it, and I thought I stuck with it, man. Like doing I probably did about 10 laps, and I thought, okay, I'm gonna get into this. Is this gonna be like an F1 type situation? And I'm going to love it. I'm going to learn how to make these turns. But that fucking thing does not drift. Ooh, that back wheel does not come out, man. I can't make the smoke come out and hear the drift. And it's not a car. That was the problem for me. And I realized man, I'm never going to download a motorcycle game again ever in my life. It's not going to happen. Where I do like things like, Assetto Corsa and Grid and Forza, and Dirt Rally and Dirt 2.5. I don't know, whatever. Give me a car. Motorcycles are not for me. It's not my thing. There's no even sound for it going it's going to drift out. It's just kind of winds down and you went in the sand, man. Now you flipped your bike over because you're lame. No, screw that. It's dumb. I ended up just like Resident Evil Resistance, just delete off my hard drive right now. Get the fuck off. That was it. That was it for me.
Okay,
so, yeah.
Settle down, Gunny. Settle down. Okay, we get it.
I was like, I tried it. Fine, whatever. But yeah, I thought I'd try some Game Pass games, and there was a few other ones. But yeah, that's all I played, guys.
Cool. Well, it's news time. Let's go on to some news, ladies and gentlemen. Some video game news.
News time.
We got some.
Let's get into some news.
Yeah. Cyberpunk news. Well, Gunny, whoa, Gunny. Turn that down, Gunny. We can't hear nothing. So,
Let's do it.
Cyberpunk 2077 is facing a class action lawsuit over the Cyberpunk 2077 release. That's right. It says here, after a rocky Cyberpunk 2077 launch earlier in December, publisher CD Projekt Red is now facing a class action lawsuit for alleged violations of federal security laws. The lawsuit was filed Thursday in California by a New York-based law firm, the Rosen Law Firm. It says here, the Rosen Law Firm said it filed the suit on behalf of its investors that purchased securities, like stock, between the period of January 16 and December 17, 2020. In the lawsuit, the lawyer said CD Projekt Red made false and misleading statements about Cyberpunk 2077, which was released on December 10th for Google Stadia, PS4, blah, 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 blah. And now the lawyers are requesting a class action status for this lawsuit. It says here, according to this lawsuit, Mayo, CD Projekt Red did not disclose enough information that Cyberpunk 2077 was a buggy and virtually unplayable on the PS4 and Xbox One. Specifically, the statement called out in the lawsuits are regarding the company's claim that the game was, quote, complete and playable back in January of 2020. Despite the game being delayed to September, in one instance during a conference call announcing a further delay. CD Projekt President and Joint CEO Adam Kaczynski said Cyberpunk 2077 responded to worries concerning the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions of the game. Kaczynski told investors there was no problem with the versions, just optimization to be done. That's what the lawyer said. So, because of the game's issues, Sony has now removed Cyberpunk 2077 from the PlayStation Store digitally, with most storefronts and retailers now offering full refunds on the game. So there's that. So now the lawyer said that this lawsuit's statements concern that the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One versions of the games were materially false and misleading. And, you know, when the full-scale Cyberpunk 2077's problems emerged, the investors suffered damages due to an artificially inflated market price. You mean your assholes lost a lot of money, huh? You fucking
Yeah.
Me.
So there's that. I mean, personally, I think that the asshole lawsuit, you know, is bullshit, and I think that honestly they shouldn't get the class action, you know, status on that. And I also think that the investors shouldn't get any money from Cyberpunk now. I think that, you know, if you fucking sue the people you're investing in, you should just fucking like automatically lose all your shares in that company or something. You know what I mean? Because it's kind of like, oh, you were riding the wave, you know, when everyone was hyped up, and then all of a sudden shit goes bad, and you're like, fucking, oh, I want to sue you now. It's like, no, dude, that's the risk of investing money. You know?
Good point on that.
There's a risk. There's a risk. And every time, you know, if you have a 401k and you look at your 401k every fucking year when they give you a statement or whatever, and you see that you lost money, you don't fucking go and sue your 401k company or whatever for investing in whoever the fuck they invested in and lost all your money. You know, it's like,
True.
You take the fucking loss and you walk away. So why are these investors little bitches? And, you know, just because they have more money to hire more expensive lawyers, you know, who are these guys? You know, that's really what it comes down to. This lawsuit is what it comes down to. It's not about the investors losing all this money or you know, making it fair for the people. It's no, dude. These guys have money, and they have enough money to hire good lawyers to create a lawsuit, and that's what they're doing. You know, I think personally they should just lose all their shares in the company and hope CD Projekt Red says fuck you. You know.
Yeah, a little silly, right? Because you think about it, like I agree, like you invest in a company, and yeah, I don't know how that works as far as like how can you sue them for making maybe bad decisions
Yeah, it's like
versus
investing
like
in
selling your
anything.
shares, like.
Yeah, you're the one that didn't sell your shares right before the game launched. You were expecting the game to launch and the shares to jump up, but they didn't. And that's a risk that you took.
Yes,
So you should have been smart. You should have sold it right before the game launched, right? Right when you started seeing
correct.
the review leaks and shit coming out, you should have been like, you know what? Let's sell all my shares right now before the game launches because it could crash. Like
Now, Jesus, I had this conversation with a coworker. Now, this is a customer actually at work, and he doesn't listen to podcasts. I don't think he may read the IGNs of things, and I know he owns a PS4 and an Xbox One X, just like me, except I have the Series X as well, and so he doesn't know. He's not in the all of know of things like me. But one thing he did say is like, he had asked me. He asked me a lot of questions, and we have long conversations about games like whether it be Cyberpunk 2077, and he's a very positive person. He had talked about, what do you think, Meryl? Like, do you think Henley, Gunny, you think this is going to be, you know, what they say it is? Like, this is going to be the game, man. This is going to be the one that you're going to play, or is this going to be like an Anthem style type situation? And I was like, whoa, really? Like I said, you know what? I'm going to be optimistic here and say it could be like an Anthem. It's possible. That
how many people sued EA for Anthem?
I don't remember if they did at all. Like probably none.
Yeah, why? So why are you suing CD Projekt Red?
Well, I think Anthem was a little bit different. That's a good comparison because I can look at Anthem and say, you know what?
Why was Anthem different?
Number one sold game of 2019, so they got all their money, right? I almost want to say it was the biggest scam of 2019. Now,
yeah. So, but the difference here is that the people in Cyberpunk, the company CD Projekt Red already said they've made all their money back. So as far as them making their money back and all that is good, but their stock is still down just because of the bad press, and it's just the bad press. That's what's controlling the stock price.
Yeah, and of course we don't know the numbers of the people that were in that sort of that horror mentality of returning the game versus those that kept it. It could have been the the 800,000 that kept the game and 10,000 that returned it, right? Which is not a very big number, but more of a something that's the media got a hold of as far as pitchforks and torches, on your Twitters and your Facebooks and wherever other media. I don't know.
So let's look at this right now. So 6 months ago, the Cyberpunk CD Projekt Red stock was at $25.20, right? 6 months ago, $25.20 per share. On December 4th, that's 6 days before the game released, it was at its highest, $31. Since then, it has gradually been declining. Even so, that was the highest. That was the peak, and then it's just been going down since December 4th. So now it's at what? What's it at now? It's at $18.35. So yeah, you lost quite a bit of money if you were invested a lot, in the company. You lost a lot, but I mean that's the risk you fucking take when you invest in companies, dude. That is just a risk. Like how I don't understand why how like this lawsuit, this firm is saying that it's false advertising. How is it false advertising? You guys knew the risk when you were investing. You shouldn't, Yes, they made bad decisions. Yes, I guess one of the bad decisions was to release the game the way it is. But think about it. Would the investors have been happy if you would have not released the game on the 10th? Have you delayed it again? Say you delayed it till next March. Another 4 months of delay, right? You delay it 4 more months. How much bullshit would they have gotten for that?
Yeah, there's just no win. I mean,
yeah, you don't win.
Now, I'm going to back up here, guys. I'm going to back up here too. This is something I think I saw it on Twitter, and this is something that Chavez put on the Discord. And I'm going to back up here, and I'm going to kind of read it here, where it's I can definitely tell it's not from CD Projekt Red, but basically it says here, "Hey, Cyberpunk 2077. Hey, toxic fans, remember when CDPR delayed the release to be able to polish the game and make sure compatibility was optimized? Remember how you responded to the delay like spoiled children and sent the developers death threats on social media? And now you're mad at the lack of polish and compatibility options. You did this to you. Maybe a bit more time would have helped." So I don't know. Is there just like pressure here? Yeah, it's, and really the fault is like with these base consoles, right? Let's barrel it down here. Xbox One Hobo Edition, PS4 Hobo Edition. That's where the real problem. I mean, most of the problems lie. Would you say, as far as optimization, frame?
That's where we've seen the major issues, right? On the PS4 Pro, there's some bugs. On the Xbox One X, yes, there's some bugs. Even on the next gen consoles, there's bugs. Even on PC, there's bugs, but they're playable, and the game is playable. It's just because you want the game to look like the trailer that they showed you. Sorry, dude, but that trailer was on a PC. You know this. Watch Dogs has taught you that. What else? Anthem has taught you that. What else? Red Dead has taught you that. All these games have taught you that, hey, the shit that you see is not really what you're going to get. This is on a high-end PC usually when we're doing these trailers. About the only game that I've ever seen release on consoles that looked almost as good on the PC that it did on the trailers and people didn't complain about was Red Dead. That is the only fucking game, that I've ever seen release on consoles, and like, they do a good job of optimizing it for everything at the same time almost. Like I got to give it up to Rockstar. They somehow do it right where they know how to optimize their games to fucking look good on everything, because the thing about Red Dead Redemption 2 launch, I didn't hear people complaining about the console launch. Did you?
The only thing that you saw on that was Jason Schreier coming in to trying to bring in the drama.
Oh, well, that's the bullshit, the HJW bullshit.
And I think the developers came out and said, "Yeah, there's Game Crunch, man.
Well, of course,
we're kind of towards the end. Yeah. There's that push. There's that extra Red Bull, that extra
the staying at work late because
staying at work late. Get this thing done. Make sure it's running on all consoles."
And like, you got to give it up to Rockstar, even with that bullshit crunch, which everyone has to do. They get it done right. I mean, could it have been that, like, Cyberpunk, CD Projekt Red, who was their partner with the publishing of this game? It was, who the fuck was it? It
wasn't self-published?
It was self-published, but to get it out on disc, they had to need like an actual publisher. I think they used WB, Warner Brothers, to actually put it on disc. So they
the physical, I think that was them.
Yeah, they had to make a deal with them to put it on a physical. But like, this is them, dude. Like, they don't have the backing of 2K, a multi-billion-dollar corporation, to fund this game.
Microsoft, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have Microsoft fucking funding the game,
I'm sure there were talks, but it didn't happen. There would have been the extra money for the team.
So as far as people complaining that the game, like you're right, Gunny. Like, if they delayed it more, people would have been pissed. If they didn't delay it, people would have been got what they got.
We can sit back here. I can sit back here, and I was telling my son, I was telling probably at least 4 people at work who are, a couple of them are listening right now, and I know you guys are listening. Some of my coworkers. And that was that we can sit back here and say, you know what? They should have just released that on PC. That's it. And early access on consoles. Wait, that's not what I want. It runs fine on my Xbox One X. Again, I'm in a different category Xbox Series S. And so I can say that it's not something I'm going to play 40 hours straight for. And say, oh my God, I'm running into this game-breaking bug on my PlayStation 5, and I can't play it anymore, and I have to wait for the fix. And again, I want to reiterate, Jesus, I did talk to Jay on Discord, and he had talked about after we did a couple shows ago about the game-breaking bug and how he can continue, and I'm sure this has happened for other people playing on the PlayStation 5, where, hey, look, the game looked great. It was just that game-breaking bug of where I couldn't continue. And I think this last hot fix did get it fixed. So, again, bugs in the game, again, that's all the way around. But, yeah, it's just other things that are causing... I've seen those screenshots and videos of, the base Xbox One and PlayStation 4. They look horrible. Yeah. I'm not getting a refund myself personally, but...
I think it's people just being little bitches, man. And I'm sorry, if you're one of the people that got a refund, then cool for you, man. But at the same time, like, like the game, to me, it's playable while on PC, and I'm playing it, and I'm enjoying it. And if you're playing on a base console, then maybe you should upgrade your console, get a better console.
It's kind of what I say as far as, like, or, you know what, you got that base console.
Just wait for the patch.
Ready to upgrade. You haven't found the next. You haven't found a PlayStation 5. Go play some old shit. Go play Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah, or play it on Stadia if you don't have that option to get a new console or a new PC.
There you go. Buy it on PC.
For Stadia, you don't even need the Stadia controller and the Chromecast. You can use any laptop or any computer and go to Stadia.com and buy the game there and literally just start playing right
as long as you can have the good internet connection.
Yeah.
True.
Because you don't want to have lag either.
I know that's what our friend Nipron decided to do. He ended up going with the Stadia option. I think he was looking for a controller. I mentioned Evan Tanaka, and I don't know, they got together or something, and they figured out a way to get the controller to Nipron. And Nipron says he's fucking loving Stadia, dude. He's like, Cyberpunk, it's fucking amazing on here. It works, I don't have to wait for the patches. I just play, and it fucking works, And he's playing like on if you're playing on Stadia, you're playing on a 2080 Super or 2080 Ti, so you're getting good performance. Yeah, or 2070 or something like that. But it's a good PC, like you're playing in a better performance than you would on a console. Because Nipron was playing on a PS4, and he said it was like unplayable. He's like I can't do this. I like the game. I like what I'm seeing, but I can't do this, so I gotta get it on Stadia. Like, I think he listened to our podcast last week, guys. And remember we were talking about becoming Stadia guys, Gunny?
Right.
Mm-hmm. we were like, should we become Stadia guys? I think he heard us, and I think he's like, you know what? Fuck it, I'll become a Stadia guy right now, and he did.
Yeah, I always keep out. No, I don't think he had the controller before.
Or he got it
pro version. So
no, he got it from Evan.
Right, but I'm saying he's played it on Stadia before. He may have played like the, which is the kind of the trial version of Stadia.
No. So Stadia there's no trial version of Stadia right now. Like Stadia is Stadia. Stadia.
No, there is. There is like a 30-day trial.
No, you get on Stadia right now. Do you go? Okay, no, Gunny, you're thinking something different. If you go right now to Stadia.com, you can buy Cyberpunk right now on your computer, Gunny. Right now, you can just buy it. $60, it's yours. You can play that as much as you want at 1080p 60, but if you want the 4K, you need to get Stadia Pro, which costs $10 a month. And I think that the Stadia Pro is actually, they give it to you for free for a month if you buy Cyberpunk. So I think that you just get like the 4K version or whatever if you buy Cyberpunk. And if you get the Chromecast and the controller, then they add like 3 months of it or whatever to your account.
Correct.
But
so I just went with the Hobo edition.
Yeah, so maybe he's playing it, on his computer, on his TV, or whatever he's playing it on, but he's enjoying it, and I'm glad that was an option for Nipron. Now, I know if you're out there listening and you don't have the option because you have bad internet, then I'm sorry, dude. Like I guess you're just going to have to be like everyone else and wait for the patches. Because, hey, look, as much shit as you want to talk about Cyberpunk, when The Witcher 3 came out, if you don't remember the fucking glitches in that fucking game, there was T-posing, which happens in Cyberpunk. There was the invisible bandits that would attack you and you couldn't see them. There was the tank fucking controls that Geralt had because it was made for PC and the controllers just... The optimization for the controller was shit. It was trash. Geralt would move like a fucking tank. He would like fucking turn all awkward and shit. It was like a tank controls, dude. It was like Resident Evil fucking controls. It was bad. He couldn't roll on the ground very fast. And they took him, I think it was like a few months after, like maybe 3, 4, 5 months, even 6 months after the game came out, when they finally got that game to the point where, like, hey, the game is playable enough now, it's good enough now where we can start, like, making DLC for this thing, you know? like we're at that point now, guys. Woohoo, we finally made it. We can make DLC for this. Now, I think that when Cyberpunk multiplayer comes out next year, with whether it's June or whenever the next gen patch is hit for the consoles, that's going to change everything. And I think Cyberpunk is going to could become fucking huge. I think it could be like the next, I think it could be the next GTA Online with just how much shit goes on in that city, dude. You can have some cool fucking stuff in that game.
Yeah, they might add another piece of the city and go, oh my god, this city's big.
You could add stuff to the desert, a little town or something. You could add different shit, you know. And the cool thing about Cyberpunk is that, like, you could be in the city, but also you could be in a virtual space. Like, you can actually, in the game, go into virtual reality. So, like, you can just change the game completely up, you know, when you're doing that type of stuff in the game. You know, when you're adding, you can add new worlds to the game, new things. So, like I said, I have faith in CD Projekt Red, and I think they're going to turn things around. As far as this lawsuit, I think it's bullshit. I mean, you know, like, I get why you're suing them. I get you lost a lot of money, but, dude, you knew the risk. You knew the fucking risk. And, you know, guys, like, I know that some of you may be investors or whatever, but you know that these assholes that are suing these guys are like fucking, they're the fucking whales. You know, they're the fucking, the guy that sits at home and he has $50 million in his account and he invested $500,000 or $2 million into CD Projekt Red and he has that many shares, and because of this, the stock price dip, he lost $1 million or something and he's pissed off. You know, like, it's those types of motherfuckers. It's the type of motherfucker that doesn't lose sleep at night because he lost $1 million. That's who these types of fucking assholes are that are suing these people. And the only reason they want you to get on board with the class action is at the end of the day, the lawyers take all that money.
I know, that's the bad thing. They take that 30-40%.
Yep. And what are you going to get out of it? You're going to get $2 out of it or something. Oh, you get 50-cent check coming your way, Mayo. 50 cents.
Awesome. 50 cents.
Hey, guys. Boomer fact here, guys, is that I remember my mother talking about things back in the day, guys, of like the 1980s. Now, follow me on this because it just fucking holds true to this day. And that goes back to the days of, like, before anybody saw those AT&T trucks. You know what they were before? Same thing. It was just called Pacific Bell or Southern Bell or Eastern Bell. It was the same goddamn thing. Yeah. And so basically what it was, my mom would say, yeah, there was a lawsuit. And I'd be like, oh, so you got to check for that wall that's connected on the wall, that thing that's mounted on the wall. It's called a telephone. And she goes, yeah, I got my $8.09 credit. And I was like, woo, we're rich. We're having grilled cheese sandwiches tonight. You know?
Whoa.
$8.09.
You know, you've made it.
Back then. Those lawyers, man, they're so greedy. I try not to buy into those, like, things of, let's all jump on board and
sue these people.
I'm just gonna keep my game. Thank you.
I'll keep the game and the patches will come eventually. Like, fuck you.
I don't think
it's gonna come eventually, and because I'm playing it slowly anyway. If I didn't, and I had so many other brand new games to play, then I would consider it.
I mean, there's been 2 hotfixes already, and they said that their first big patch will be in January. So I'm assuming it'll be like the first or second week of January when that comes out.
Yeah, and I told some others there was that hotfix, which I knew that was coming, but I didn't talk about it in Discord. I knew there was one in January, and I'm sure there's going to be more to follow.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And what it would fix, I didn't know, but for me, it just feels better playing on console on the Series S. I know base consoles are just, some of those are poorly optimized, but yeah, it's just something that I was optimistic about. At launch.
Yeah.
And again, Jesus, I just want to reiterate, I was I was wrong about the fact that, especially on Facebook, right, where they're a little more in the know, just like a Discord, where I was like, hey, wait, what's going on here, guys? I know that IGN and everybody, and I had faith in these guys as far as reviewing games, and they're giving these number high scores, but I know that Destin Legary from IGN, and he gave that game a 4 because overall the game was just had that shit launch, and I was like, and I think it was Joey or somebody that kind of corrected me that, hey, Gunny, yeah, IGN gave it a 4, so they were kind of correct on that, and I was like, so wrong. Even GameSpot gave it a lower score than what I expected.
All right, guys. All right, Mayo. You're the PC guy here. I need your tips here. All right, Mayo.
Okay.
So I'm looking at Reddit, right? And I looked up what is the GPU equivalent of an Xbox One original and a PS4 original to like what you would have on a PC, like what type of graphics card.
Yeah.
So people on Reddit, 1060, no. People on Reddit said that on the Xbox One and PS4, you would either have an RX 480 or 580. Yep. And then as far as, if it would be an NVIDIA card, it might be a GTX 750 or an HD 7790. That's for the OG. For the OG Xbox One, it's a 750 GTX or an HD 7790. And for the Xbox One X, they're saying that it would be probably equivalent to like an RX 580 and a GTX 1060. And, and a PS4 Pro would be an RX 570. So, Mayo, if you were trying to right now tell me if I had a GTX 750 in my PC, would you tell me to play Cyberpunk?
Hell no.
And now we're not talking GTX 750 Ti. They're saying that this would just be the base one, the normal GTX 750.
Yeah, I would definitely not.
Yeah, so like people complaining, right? Like saying like, oh, a GTX 750, people, if you're looking to build a PC, costs $119. That's so cheap.
I think now those games are going toward video RAM. You look at the cards back way before the 10 series came out, the 900 series, they were like 2 gig cards, 4 gig cards of video RAM. And then they started jumping like really high in the 10 series and then the 2000 series and now the 3000 series. And just like with the 3080 right now, I can't remember what, is it 12 or 10 gig of video RAM? I think in the 3080, and it's going to 20 of the Ti when it comes out. Yeah. If it's all the rumors are true. The video RAM is a big thing. And these old cards just can't do it. They just don't have the video RAM power to do it. And it would be so rough playing on something that old. Yeah. Even if you set it the resolution to like 720, it's still really going to be a hard time for it. Like it's really going to be pushing it. So that's the thing, and I actually find it amazing that they can actually make a game work on the Xbox One, the original VCR edition, the Series S, the Series X, 1X, they're making it for all these, and then they do it for the PlayStation. They're making it for the PS4, the PS4 Pro, the PS5. It's so hard probably right now for these developers to try to get something to work on all of them. So I would if I was a maker, I would have just ditched the really old gen. And I know I've heard this said on BGO where they think that like Microsoft and Sony won't let them just make a game for the Xbox One X, correct, or the PlayStation 4 Pro. It has to work. Yeah. On those lower ones.
And that's true. That's Phil Spencer's stance on the whole situation. Like he's been asked, will you discontinue the Xbox One? And they're like, and they've said it. Like no, when the new Series X was coming out, Mayo, they asked Phil Spencer like, do you plan to discontinue the Xbox One series anytime soon? And they were like, no, we still expect the Xbox One S to be the best-selling console we have. So
it's true, and I also read an article, early this week, and I saw a response. Okay, so basically it was again with another Halo. What's the latest Halo game that didn't come out? What's that called?
Infinite.
Infinite. So where they talked about, there was just another set of rumors talked about Infinite not, the Xbox One, the VCR edition being scrapped, where and I think that would include the S, the original Xbox One S, which was that white console, not the newest one, where they talked about like, hey, they're just gonna come out with like it on the Xbox, the Series edition, the X and the S, and no, and I think even 343 did come out and say, no, it's not true. We don't have any plans to scrap it, but that doesn't mean it can be delayed, right? Where they could release it on new consoles and again eventually. And who knows? Maybe it boils down to more of a money thing, guys, where it's possible that it could be just be weeks and a few months in between where they could say, hey, there's there's 500,000 Xbox One editions out there where we could potentially be making that money, and you've also got that. I like where Phil Spencer talks about that as well, because it's almost like, let's bring the players together sort of thing, right? Like we want everybody to experience the same thing, as far as a multiplayer stance. Let's try to get it near launch for all the consoles, but maybe not hold back next gen. I don't know.
It's just so hard to like try to move forward and keep the past viable,
Yeah, again, it's, I get it where Phil's coming from. It's not a fucking PC. It's a console, It's not.
The only thing I can see would be, like streaming could change things. So maybe you had like an old Xbox One, and you was able to stream to it, and then you could take a modern game and stream to that as a player, just kind of like with Stadia. You can play it on any laptop.
Sooner than later, right? Like you talked about, it could be coming sooner than later. I think that, again, we'll see in the spring with, like you said, Mayo, that's another thing that could really turn things around as far as that goes, where, hey guys, you can now stream on this Xbox One and your Xbox One S and your Xbox Series S and your X, and depending on your internet, you could be just as good on the person on the next gen PC or something.
Yeah, so
playing that Master Chief Collection on Steam.
Do you think when that cloud thing becomes viable, like when the X Cloud becomes like full integration, like when they can say like, hey guys, like say what's a game coming out this year? What's the next big game coming out?
The next big game?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Say Starlink, or that Star fucking game that made by Bethesda. Yeah, by Bethesda. It's not Starlink. It's
something Star. I don't know.
Something Star. The Space Starfield. Yes, Starfield.
Starfield.
It's a lot of Star games out there. So when Starfield comes out, so let's say if xCloud gets to the point where like when they can say, hey guys, Starfield is coming out on everything this day, but it's also coming out on xCloud the same day. And now you don't even need to buy a console for xCloud. You could just log into Xbox and play this on any PC in the world. You could just stream it to your PC. It could be a gaming PC. It doesn't have to be. But you're just streaming it. It doesn't matter because you're just streaming it. As long as your internet is good, you're streaming it. Do you think that'll be the point when finally Phil Spencer agrees to discontinue the Xbox One consoles?
Here's what I think about this a lot, and I think that where...
Like the old ones, like the OG Xbox One and the OG Xbox One S. You think that'll be the point where they finally say, you know what, or what if they create an app that you can use in the consoles that will be like the xCloud app? Like instead of discontinuing them, they're like, hey, if you have an OG Xbox One, you have to download this app to play the new games. Like you can only stream them to the console now. You cannot play them off of this console.
Yeah, where something like that, right? Where we start seeing more games like that. It'll be things like that we see on. There's a TV show, guys, that my wife enjoys in the morning, Monday through Friday, and it's Good Morning America. And once they start showing it on there, like they did it with Fortnite. Like Fortnite is the game of it's the fucking game of the century that kids love, and it's safe, and and things like that, where they start showing more things like that, and maybe like you said, Jesus, is more exclusive, and it works, and it's good where it's got that, and it's got to be a good game, right? It's got to be something like a Fortnite, like a Minecraft, like a whatever it is, right? That brings it together for people.
I don't know, man.
Everybody's playing Call of Duty Mobile or something.
All I'm saying is that the old gen is holding back the new gen, and they will continue to do so until they finally decide to cut that, and say, you know what?
Yeah.
New games come out on new consoles. Old consoles, you're still getting some games, but not all the games. Good luck with that. But when you're forcing developers to develop for 5, 6, 7 different systems, it's a lot. I think it's too much, and I think that they don't know where to optimize. And this game is obvious that Cyberpunk was made for PC first, and then it was ported over, and the ports were shit. Like the ports don't compare to the PC version, and but it goes the same way for the PC sometimes, where the ports don't go well to the PC, and you don't hear people complaining on the PC about it. Think about like Batman. Remember when Batman came out back in like 2014 or 15 or whatever, and then people couldn't play Batman on their PC because some shit with the file corrupted or something in Steam or some shit, and you couldn't play it at all. It was just unplayable on the PC. It would literally just crash all the time. And all the console players were happy because they could play Batman all they want, but the PC players couldn't play it at all. And
is that what it's called? Jesus, Batman Origins?
No, Batman Arkham Knight or Batman
Arkham Knight or Origins. Yeah, what is
Asylum.
Yeah.
You remember that, Mayo? When the Batman game came out, people complain about like the Cyberpunk can be played on consoles. Well, you remember when Batman came out a few years ago? I don't know which one it was. It was a Batman fucking game. You know what stupid Batman games. It was a stupid Batman game. And the shit was not playable on PC. It just wasn't playable. Like it would crash and it would corrupt and it was fucked.
I remember
Steam,
one.
Steam was giving refunds even outside of the refund range. Like they ended up giving refunds even if you played more than 2 hours or whatever, they were just giving you refunds no matter what if you just wanted one.
Yeah, I vaguely remember it, but I wasn't one of the ones that was all excited for it, and I don't think I bought it. I just remember reading the articles and hearing about it.
Yeah, that's people. I think just the Cyberpunk shit is being blown out of proportion, and I personally think
definitely.
I personally think that yes, some of the hate is warranted because of the bullshit that the shit is doing, but at the same time, I also feel like a lot of the there's a hidden agenda behind all of it. And,
I agree.
And I think that the media is attacking or trying to make an example out of CD Projekt Red. And I think based on what their CEO has said in the past and what the company has said in the past about transgenders, about gay people, about whatever, they've had some really, I want to say different views and opinions than most people. They're not SJW, let's put it that way. They're not social justice warriors at CD Projekt Red. And you know what? They don't have to be, because we, as Americans and as people that live in this country, we always tend to look at other countries and expect them to be like us. But this is fucking Poland, dude. And Poland is they're a very, what do you call it? They're a Catholic country, man. Like the main religion is Catholicism. And Catholicism is a very strict religion. For the longest time, the Catholic Church would not acknowledge gay marriages. They wouldn't acknowledge gay people. They wouldn't acknowledge anything. If you were gay, you were looked down upon, and it was only recently with this new pope, the most recent pope, that he's finally acknowledging gay marriages and stuff like that. And it's a good thing. At the same time, though, like Americans, I feel always want everyone to be like them. Like we look at other countries and we're like, well, why are they doing that? They should do more things like we do. And it's like no, dude, that's part of the whole world. Everyone's culture is different. That's why they're in a different fucking country. That's why they have different beliefs. They have different laws, different rules. There's certain countries out there, man, where you're not allowed to smoke.
True.
It's just banned in the whole country. You're not allowed to fucking smoke. You know?
You know where it's kind of weird where so my wife, she is from the Fiji Islands, and I've been there 4 or 5 times now, and it's for the most part it was under that Queen Elizabeth rule, and you know 200 years later it's independent country, and yeah, but it's weird. It's the third world country, but even to this day where marijuana is outlawed, and again it's that predominantly it's that Christian culture of country, and where you will be beaten by a lemon stick from someone in your village, where it's like, wait, whoa, I thought it was just legal everywhere. I thought cannabis was legal all over the damn near everywhere, but apparently it's not. And people,
dude, in some countries you get fucking shot by the cops if they catch you with drugs. They just fucking shoot your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's so illegal that's what they do. So like for us to look at other countries, and other companies, we consume their media, and we should be happy enough that like they include everything that we have in our culture in our media. They have trans people in Cyberpunk. There's gay people in Cyberpunk. You can be a gay person in Cyberpunk. You could be anything. You could be a male with a female voice. You can have a penis. You can have a vagina. You can have nothing. You can have both. It's like you should be happy that the other people that are making the media for us that we consume here in this country, that they acknowledge, the cultural values or whatever of Americans or whatever, and that they actually kind of use them in their games, And these games are not made only for us. They're made for the entire fucking world. Cyberpunk didn't just launch in America. It launched around the entire fucking planet. So
I think that's something we forget about
at
the time.
Yeah, that is true.
These games are worldwide. This isn't just what our value is and lifestyles are here. It's worldwide.
Yeah,
I know that Australia and Germany kind of look at the governments, just speaking of those two countries in general, as far as like how they rate games or
very
not
strict.
approve games. And I know that we never hear anything about, like, for example, China, they kind of hide everything as far as like, since the Xbox One was launched in China. Yeah, that's something we never get news. I know they don't want us to know. It's very hidden, and
we don't really hear much about it, right? We hear like, Tencent did this or Tencent did this with this publisher or whatever to change these things in the game. But yeah, you're right, Mayo. These games are consumed by everyone around the whole world. And you think about it, Mayo, these games, 99.99% of the time, have American cultures being blasted out to the entire world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we don't think about that. What do you think other people feel like when they're playing a game and they're like, well, fuck, I got to play as a fucking American, or I got to, I got to deal with this shit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just the way I look at it. I think that it's an overblown thing. I get that, I just think that there's a hidden agenda behind everything. And I think that the agenda behind all this hate towards Cyberpunk is something to do with the stances their CEOs and their main directors and all these people that work with them have had in the past, But hey, man, I applaud them for the game they've made, and I think it's a great game, and I think it's a very inclusive game. The game, it goes dark places. I'm not going to lie. Like, there's some crazy religious shit that happens in the game that's very dark. There's like a cult religion in the game. There's like this religion in the game. There's like a cult, and they're like super anti, like, what do you call that, cybernetics. So they're like fucking hate like people that wear the cyber stuff or whatever, and they're like, oh, that's the devil's fucking work, They're like, they're like super anti-cybernetics or whatever, and it's kind of interesting to see all that, but it's an interesting game, and I really enjoy it. So, yeah, that's my opinion on the whole Cyberpunk fiasco, man. But other than that, besides all that, like, I haven't let all that shit affect my opinion of the game. I still think the game is fucking great, and I love it, dude. Like what I've played of it, what I've experienced, it's fucking cool as shit. It's like, if you let all these other things influence your decisions on games, then you'll never have your own opinion on it. You know what I mean? And it's kind of, I know it's hard to not let these fucking media companies influence your decisions on these games, but you really shouldn't.
All this clickbait, it's just like you see these articles, these one-liners, CD Projekt Red this or Cyberpunk this and that right now, because that's the hot thing right now.
Yeah.
And it's just, to me, it's so annoying to sit there and read these articles, or like you click on one and it's just some BS article, like really reaching, and or like, just like, it doesn't share their political view, something like that. Like I saw a review on CD or Cyberpunk when it first came out, and I don't remember the specifics of it, just kind of briefly, and it was the only really bad score I had saw, and I wanted to see where they're coming from, but it was almost like too extreme, and their problem with the game was it did not let it was a transgender person who was reviewing the game, and they were upset with the fact that they didn't have enough options throughout the game for them. So, like, they could make a character, but the dialogue options wouldn't match up with what they wanted. And so they gave the game a 60, out of 100. And I'm like, how can you give this game a bad rating because it doesn't have what you want, or it doesn't have a certain political view, and stuff like that. And that's just what all these articles anymore, these just clickbait articles, and I just feel like so many things anymore is just in Google anymore that it just comes up as just clickbait.
And you know what? And you're right. It's funny when you say it's in Google. Remember we were talking about I don't know if it was a couple weeks ago or last week. We were talking about Silicon Valley and how these companies, Facebook and Google, they control everything we do, man.
Yeah.
And if Google wants to show you something, Google has the power to change the world. They can change what everyone gets in results in a matter of seconds, dude. Mm-hmm. If they want to put you at the very last 1/1,000,000th page of results, they could. They just could do it with the blink of, with the fucking click of a mouse. And next thing you know, no one will ever find you on fucking Google. You know what I mean? Or they have the power to like bring up shit and push shit right in the forefront of people. When people are Googling Cyberpunk, this is what they see. This is what, boom, 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 boom. This is what they see. And then it's just kind of ridiculous, but it is what it is. And that's the future we live in. And that's the situation we live in, As woke as we are as a country, we're not so woke to realize that corporations control every facet of our lives. People like to say, "Oh, we're woke. We believe in all inclusivity and all this shit." It's like, yes, but like, you realize how much influence you're being influenced by these companies to do what they want you to do.
True.
Moving on to more news. Okay, so we'll move on to more news here. Speaking of being woke, Cyberpunk 2077 developers are reportedly angry with their management about unrealistic deadlines. Oh, what a surprise.
More negative news coming at you.
Yeah, following a so-so launch on the PC and a dismal launch
by the way,
on the Xbox and the PS4, employees at Cyberpunk developer CD Projekt Red reportedly asked some poignant questions during a video meeting with student management this last week. According to Jason Schreier from Bloomberg, one staff member asked management why it said that Cyberpunk 2077 was complete in January when, according to that employee, it wasn't. Another developer suggested that it was hypocritical to develop a game about corporate exploitation with the help of mandatory overtime. When asked about crunch, the studio director said, quote, said they had plans to improve production practices in the future, but did not elaborate. So this apparently comes from an account of 2 employees at the company. Apparently a few others, at the studio said that they were, presented with unrealistic deadlines. So, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, it's almost like becoming a doctor or something. Like people always talk about these crunch times and, like Jason Schreier especially. Like, I wonder if he ever does crunch or like if he just tells his boss to fuck off. What? Like when his boss says, "Hey, yo, Jason, we need this story for tomorrow. We need you to get this story up, and I need it tomorrow, man." I wonder if he just goes, "You know what? Fuck you. I'm off at 5. Fuck you.
It's kind of funny because he had tweeted an article, something similar to this, talking about crunch and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I gave him a response. I sent him a direct DM, which he never responded to. But I was just kind of comparing it. I said, look, they're developers. They wanted to be on this project. And I understand crunch. But I said, how is crunch any different than these people right now every holiday working working with UPS?
Yeah.
Or
FedEx.
Me and you, Jesus, we're in the food shipping industry. Look how many hours both of us have put in
the last month. Yeah.
In the last, I've had one day off since Thanksgiving. And some of that was my choice, but that's just the nature of the job. And I don't, we tell people at our work, like, look, if you don't like the hours, then find a different job. Nobody's forcing you to stay here, and nobody forces people to stay in and make that game.
Yeah. Yeah, you're completely right. It's like a fireman complaining that he has to run into a burning house. It's like he's being like, hey man, there's a kid in there in that burning house. You need to go in there and rescue him. And he's like, well, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go in there.
They're going to have a deadline, and you can't just not tell them to have a deadline because nothing's going to get made.
Yeah, it's like if you just say, yeah, guys, we're going to make this game for the next 20 years. Go ahead. Just no deadlines till 2040.
Yeah. Go ahead. No pressure to get it done. Just get it done whenever you want. The game would never get done, or they always add more.
Yeah.
But with crunch, and maybe I just don't understand it because I'm not in that exact field. But that's what my question was to him. I said, how is that different than what us people out here doing? These blue collar jobs and all that. Like, how does that any different from what we do on a normal basis?
Yeah. It's like every job has overtime. Ask a police officer. Do you think cops want to work on Christmas Eve?
As far as I know, like I've talked to cops over years and years, right? Yeah. They've like, hey, I'm working a double today. You know what double means? 16 hours.
Exactly. Like, do you think they want to fucking be in their fucking cop car chasing people, pulling people over and shit every fucking day? Or on Christmas Eve when they could be at home with their family, or Christmas Day or whatever? Do you think doctors want to be at hospitals battling fucking COVID patients and shit, like dealing with all that on Christmas? No, but someone has to be there,
They're working a double.
Yeah. Doctors, nurses, fucking everyone does it, dude. And like, I don't get why these fucking news articles and these media, why they're complaining if they even fucking do it. Do you think Jason Schreier has no deadlines to meet when he's reviewing a game?
Right, or when he's writing an article, like it's got to be done like within a certain date.
Yo, if a company gives you a review copy, okay, so we've got review copies in the past. I'm pretty sure, like, we get told, hey guys, you have a review to do or whatever. Make sure you mention us, blah blah blah. Make sure this, and we hope that your review is out before the game launches on this day. Or make sure that you don't say anything until this day. So you're trying to get that game played, and you're trying to figure out, like, okay, how much of this game can I play before this date? And how much of a review can I do, for the people that I'm reviewing this game for? And, so it's like, I'm sure they had deadlines. So what are they saying? Like, oh, well, crunch is bad. Like, oh, so you're saying your job doesn't have any crunch? You've never had any crunch at all? Like, you've never had a day where you woke up and you had to fucking drink Red Bull just to get out of bed and shit? Like, or like you have to stay up late? It's
just everywhere, and you think of people working stores during the holidays. Yeah. They are working crazy hours and dealing with people nonstop shopping and this and that. And now things are going to online. It's these FedEx people, UPS people. I remember, last night, Christmas Eve, it was 8:00 at night, and I seen a FedEx truck or a UPS truck or somebody out running around that deliverance jet. And he's out there. You think he wants to be out this late on Christmas Eve? Delivering.
Yeah.
So it just, I don't know. I would just feel like either you want to be in that situation or you don't. But I don't think you're forced to be in that situation.
Yeah,
so
it's like
don't make it sound like
no one put a gun to your head.
You have to be there. You have to be forced into doing this and all that. And if it's not what you want, then you don't have to be there.
Just quit. Go get another job.
Go get go work for another developer.
Yeah.
If you want your name connected to Cyberpunk, then you're gonna put up with the crunch and you're gonna put up with deadlines because you're making a big title.
Can you imagine?
If you don't want to
now you
have
can
crunch, then go make an indie game.
Yeah, now you can go to Ubisoft and be like, hey, well, what did you do? Well, I was the lead character animator for Cyberpunk. It's like, whoa, okay, well, this guy knows his shit, you know, like, okay, maybe we could bring you on board. Now you can go to pretty much any developer in the world and be like, hey, guys, like, I can work for you. I've done this, and I've done this on Cyberpunk. It's like working on Red Dead Redemption 2, you know, and complaining about it. Like, what have you done? Oh, I was the animator or some lead animation for Red Dead Redemption 2. It's like, oh, okay, you know, like, you know your shit, dude. Come on, you know? I don't get it. These people complain, but I don't see the developers complaining really. I see the media complaining.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's definitely a lot of drama and little toxicity around that for sure. Because I know that any of you listening out there that can. So,
all right, Gunny, I'm going to tell you something. We have game developers that listen to this podcast because I've spoken to them. They've told me about their games. Now, you guys that are out there making a game right now. And I know they've been working on this game for like the last 4 years now. They've been doing this indie game. It's like 2 or 3, 4 people. But they've been working on this game for like 4 years. They haven't told no one about it really. It's a secret project type thing.
Right.
But, all right, so like they know what they're getting themselves into, man. You know, they know that. It's their passion. It is what you want to do. It's like us doing this podcast. Almost, you know what I mean? We know what we're getting ourselves into. We get into do this shit every fucking week, and we're here for hours at a time or whatever, you know, and sometimes shit goes wrong, and sometimes we record and we can't even use the recording because it's all fucked up.
True.
So then,
but one of the things I look at, guys, is as far as like maybe not. I don't know if it's an Anthem or a Red Dead situation, but where maybe in a Jason Schreier situation where it could be certain employees, right? And I always look at it this way, where you know, it could have been the people that he talked to, and where they talk about, oh my God, I had to make a video game, and I had to work 9 hours, an extra hour every day. And one of the things it tells me, one of the things I think about, and I never think about it like in a negative way but sometimes I do. I think that, like, when they're talking about that, where I think about me being a future employer to that person, and they talk about, oh gosh, it was horrible, and I had to make animations and things like that. It's always a red flag to me, right? That's the way I've always kind of looked at it, where I'm like, whoa, it's a red flag, to teach me about that person, as far as personality goes, where I would think twice about hiring them. I don't know. It's just something that I'm a little more critical of. And I know developers were probably thinking the same thing. Like, yeah, we kind of look at those things as well. Where people talk about their jobs or whatever and how horrible it is, and like, hey, I should think twice about hiring that person, It's almost a red flag.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Personally, I think that the whole crunch thing is kind of just like, whatever, dude. Like,
you got paid overtime, double time, triple time, whatever it was.
You got paid for that. And you know what's funny, Gunny? Some people don't get paid overtime. Like, for example, Brink, I know he works for FedEx, and he said for like since COVID hit pretty much, for the whole summer and up to now, he's been working like 6-7 days a week. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't get paid overtime because he's on salary. So he gets paid the same check every fucking week or every 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, some of those guys, I know FedEx works a little bit differently than UPS. Like, they're not union. I know that because us and Teamsters, the company that I work for, we're all Teamsters, and we get all those special benefits and gifts and packages, just like UPS does. And where FedEx is a little bit differently, right? Where you've got FedEx Freight, and you've got the local FedEx guys, not ground, but maybe like what Brink does. Yeah, and they work for like the little smaller companies that I can't think of the name of the FedEx that it's called.
They're
but
kind of like they're almost like
not ground, but express or whatever it is.
Yeah, they're like he works for like a company that contracts with FedEx, so he's not even like an actual. He's not even like a real FedEx employee. He's like an employee of another company that works for FedEx.
Yeah, those are all over the place, right? Where they have those little smaller companies. They own 5 trucks, or they own 100 trucks, or 50, or 10, or 12. And those guys definitely, you're kind of working for them and kind of how that works.
You know, and at the same
they're
time,
the ones bringing you your Christmas packages, so you better respect them.
Yeah, but at the same time, you know, it's like he has crunch. That's crunch, working
True.
6 days a week and not getting paid overtime. You know, so it is what it is. Like Mayo said, if you want your name attached to something big, maybe that's a sacrifice you make. You know, if I was a game developer, I think I would want my name attached to Cyberpunk.
Oh, I would definitely. You know.
I mean, or Red Dead, or GTA, or Witcher, or fucking even like the Ubisoft game, fucking Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creeds. I'd want my name attached all over.
And I think I would not be reaching out to Jason Schreier or even accepting his invitation because I would think about my future with other companies.
I think he would twist my words. I think I would tell him something, and I think he would like embellish it and fucking come up with some bullshit. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, new interview. Thank you, Jason.
I don't want to talk about my game.
Right.
Let's move on now to more news. So here, let's make more news here. Some Shinji Mikami's Tango made an unreleased game about 4-inch cockroaches gunning down humans.
Hey, now we're talking.
Shinji Mikami, the president of Tango Gameworks, and one of the great directors, recently spoke to Variety to mark his 30 years in the game industry, as well as some enjoyable recollections about his day at Capcom making various Resident Evil titles, Resident Evil 4. Mikami digresses into the earlier days of Tango Gameworks and speaks about a smaller project that, though completed, has never ever seen the light of day. The initial concept behind Tango's work was that the studio's established developers would make a big title, quote, like The Evil Within, while its up-and-coming talent worked on smaller projects. Very soon after Tango Gameworks was launched, however, it was acquired by ZeniMax, and the idea of smaller titles kind of fell away, which is kind of shitty because, you know, Mikami goes on to describe, you know, kind of sounds pretty crazy. He says, in the beginning, we had a game where the main character was a cockroach, and the cockroach was to defeat humans. The cockroach was about 4 inches tall and would at times walk on 2 legs and at times walk on 4 legs, or all the legs that a cockroach has. And sometimes it would pick up a gun and start shooting up at the humans to defeat the humans. He says here the execs were not happy with the concept and they did not get released. But we did complete the game all the way to the end. So apparently he made a game that's never been released about 4-inch cockroaches shooting humans, guys.
Crazier shit has happened in 2020, and I would have welcomed this game.
So do I.
It would have been fine. It would have been like, fuck it, bring it on. It's 2020. Who gives a fuck? I'm a cockroach. I hop on one leg and shoot humans. I don't give a fuck. Let's do it.
Yeah, apparently their current project right now is Ghostwire Tokyo, and they have everyone on the team working on that because apparently like have some of the team working on the main game and have the rest of the team working on the side project. Kind of like they don't do that no more. Everyone works on the same thing. So right now they're working on Ghostwire Tokyo, which is that that cyberpunky hack and slash game. And,
I think that's that PS5 exclusive or 4. Well, we don't know yet, right?
Yeah, it looks weird. Yeah. But apparently it says here that this game is being directed by Kenji Kimura, with Mikami now in the producer role. So
sweet.
There's that. Mikami will be the producer. Maybe there'll be a 4-inch cockroach Easter egg in the game or something.
That you look down, he's behind the dumpster, and it's got a machine gun.
It's got a machine gun. He's hiding there. Like, oh fuck. Moving on to more news. Halo Xbox 360 games will lose online services in 2021. That's right. We're about to reach. Dude, there's still.
On the old ass last gen. Hey, I still have one right here.
Gunny. Didn't we just say this? The world is not a revolve in America, Gunny. There's people in other countries that probably can only afford a 360.
True.
Probably only play Halo 3 still or something, you know?
They're still trying to think about how they can afford an Xbox, OG Xbox One VCR edition.
Yeah. They're like, oh man, I wish I had me one of those things, you know?
But okay, Halo whatever 3 on Xbox One, like there's probably like 2 people playing right now. It's got 2 people on the same server.
It can have no less people than the people playing Titanfall that Jonathan Hall says every week.
Yeah. We got 10 players.
There's probably
playing.
There's probably
playing
more people playing these Halo games than there
only.
is Titanfall, right? Yeah, we got 6 people playing Titanfall, Titan Brawl. Poor Jonathan. Oh, I love you, Jonathan. I'm sorry, dude. I just got to give you shit on Christmas. Anyways. I could already hear Jonathan laughing in my head.
He's like, they weren't consistent players, but they did play it like throughout the week.
No, it's the
day.
same. It's the same 6 assholes that he meets every week on there. Like he knows them by name. Like I remember
his Titanfall league.
No, listen. The one time I played, he was like, "Hey, Jesus, you want to play Titanfall 2 with me or Titanfall whatever?" And I was like, "Sure, dude." And we get in there, right? And then, like, fucking Jonathan Hall knows all these people by name. He's like, hey, what up, dude?
Everybody.
He's like, what's up, guys? And they're like, hey, what's up, Jonathan? And he's like, hey, guys. You know, like
is that match? Is that the same match where you met the 4 squeakers? Like, hi, guys, I just got this game from GameStop.
No,
for
I don't know.
$4.
No, but he knows all these people by name. Like, he knows all the players that played Titan Brawl by name. Like, motherfucking Jonathan Hall. It's like a community of Titanfall players that just know each other because they're the only ones on there.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, bro, nice match 2 matches ago. I saw that.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're about to reach the end of a very important era for Xbox, Gunny. In about a year,
true.
Microsoft has announced that in December 2021, it will be taking Xbox 360 services offline for the Halo series. This move will affect 7 different games, including 2 games in the original trilogy, limiting or completely disabling online matchmaking. On a post in Halo Waypoint, 343 Industries said that it takes a great deal of resources in order to maintain the services for these games. The total player count has been dwindling as more players have chosen to play the Xbox One or the PC versions of the games through the Master Chief Collection, and that the Xbox 360 versions haven't been able to purchase physically for about 2 years. So, the games that are affected are following. But hold on. I'll read the list in a bit. It says here, it's worth noting, so here are the following games. Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition. Halo 3, which is a good game. Halo 3 ODST. So now,
That's a good game.
who was it? Was it you, Mayo, you were talking on the DOG? Was it you talking on some podcast I heard you talk about one time about you didn't know what Halo 3 ODST stood for?
Oh yeah, that was on DLG. They did not know. I don't know either, actually. So I did not play the Halo series.
So let me tell you about Halo 3 ODS. So Halo 3 ODST
campaign, by the way.
ODST stands for Orbital Drop Shock Trooper.
Drop Shock?
Drop Shock Trooper. So like these guys are like they're like kind of like, okay, so Master Chief is a Spartan. And these guys are sort of like Spartans, but not really. They're called Orbital Drop Shock Troopers because they drop in these pods from the fucking spaceships and they crash on the Earth and they open, kind of like a Gears of War when they go underground in the tunnel and they get shot into the ground in these pods. Kind of like that. But the Halo 3 ODST is a campaign about these guys who it's their story. It's like you're with the squad. And that's your squad, and you have this mission to defeat the Covenant or whoever the fuck, the aliens, and you're doing this whole story with them only. And Halo 3 itself is the story of Master Chief doing something else while they're doing this. He was doing something else over here, so it's kind of like almost 2 separate games.
Like a side story, but it's a game, but
yeah, but it's like a side story,
a different perspective. Yeah,
like a different, like you're getting the perspective of these troopers or whatever. It's similar to Halo Reach, which is also on this list. And Halo Reach, I'm pretty sure that one was a story of you weren't Master Chief, I don't think. You were somebody else. What was that? What game was that? What am I thinking of another game? Maybe that was Halo 4, which is also on this list. In Halo 4, you play the perspective of Master Chief, but then you also play as Locke, this guy that's after Master Chief. But then at the end of when you meet Master Chief, you kind of become partners with him, and like you do missions as Master Chief and as Locke, and it's the whole Halo story is fucking weird, guys. All right, it's really weird. But Halo Reach is on here. Halo 4, Halo Wars, Halo Spartan Assault. That's the twin stick shooter, the top down perspective, where you're playing
Never cared for 'em.
Yeah, those are kind of like a mobile game almost, but they like touted it as this big fucking game. It wasn't really a huge. I remember buying it when it came out, and I was like, "This is it? Like, what the fuck is this shit?" You know?
Yeah, it wasn't anything great. I think there was the Halo Spartan Assault, which is on this list, but then there was a number 2, I think. Maybe that was just the same exact shit. That was just not very good.
Yeah.
No, it was called something else. I forgot. Not Spartan Assault, but
Yeah.
yeah, didn't buy it.
Other things, it says here that it's worth noting that all these games are playable on the Xbox One, either through the Master Chief Collection or on their very own native releases. It says here Halo Reach was added relatively recently after previously being available via backward compatibility, so Microsoft may have been planning to sunset the Xbox 360 services for a long time now. It says here the services will end right around the release of Halo Infinite on the Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and PC. The game was previously scheduled to launch this November, but it was delayed an entire year to give the development team more time to polish it.
Yep.
Oh, you mean more crunch time, guys? Oh, we're making them crunch more for another year. Fucking asshole 343, asshole Xbox. Gunny, your asshole fucking Xbox team making everyone crunch for another year.
I know, they're just terrible people over there.
You could have just released the game, you know, like normal people, right?
Now they got to work in 20 hours a day.
Yeah, no. Fucking
They're
asshole.
horrible.
Horrible company. Horrible. Why would anyone work there? Why would anyone work there? Moving on to more news. Whoa, this is interesting news here. Cyberpunk 2077 is playable on Nintendo Switch through a Google Stadia workaround.
And it runs better there on any other console. That's crazy. Wow.
It says here, YouTuber Nintendo uploaded a video to his channel demonstrating how he got Cyberpunk 2077 to play on his hacked Nintendo Switch. He discusses the game's performance, which seems to run steadily at 720 pixels when undocked in at 1080p when connected to a TV, and how Stadia allows users to stream Cyberpunk 2077 to the system. There are a few required tools, like, for example, a Stadia account, of course, a payload injector, but Cyberpunk 2077 is apparently fully playable on the Switch after downloading and installing a version of Google's Android operating system. Once Android is installed on your Switch, players can download the Stadia app from the Play Store and start streaming Cyberpunk 2077. Both Joy-Con and Pro controllers are compatible with Cyberpunk 2077. It says here with controller mapping being identical to its Xbox console inputs. And of course, once Stadia is installed on Nintendo Switch, a bunch of other AAA announcement games such as Destiny 2, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order can also be streamed via the Stadia services as well. So, since here, while it's worth noting that Stadia is not directly available on the Switch, they've released, Nintendo plans to release, or has released, a few games to the cloud, including Remedy's Control and the brand new IO Interactive Hitman 3, which is coming out in January. So,
nice.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, man. Like,
yeah.
Cyberpunk on the Switch, and it runs better than other consoles.
I know. That's nuts. Maybe in 720 here, but it runs. Runs good.
Yeah. That's crazy, Mayo. That's nuts, dude.
That's a good little workaround.
You can play it on your TV as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
I can play it on my Switch.
Yeah. I don't know what else to have for news here. Oh, Steam's autumn sale was its biggest yet. Says here, Valve's latest Steamworks development blog provides a look at some of the numbers from this year's Steam autumn sale. According to a footnote, normally a footnote compared to his winter sale, the autumn sale actually features some pretty decent discounts this year and was apparently the biggest ever in terms of revenue for developers and publishers. They say here that Black Friday and Cyber Monday saw an online shopping up 22%, according to them. It says here, Steam's concurrent user numbers reached almost 24 million, which is about 7 million more users than the same time last year. Valve also said that just shy of 1 million players bought a game or made a microtransaction on Steam for the very first time, which is apparently an increase of a third on the same period in 2019. So there's that. Apparently they just had a good year this year. Of course they did. It's COVID year. Of course.
Yeah, right. Yeah, of course. They're going to sell way more games.
Duh. Fucking stupid article.
Nobody's going to work, man.
No one's working. Everyone's at home playing games. Duh.
Makes sense.
But that's all I have for news, guys, really. I mean...
All right.
Other than that, I mean, the PS5 and the Xbox are still sold out everywhere. Mostly the PS5.
Yeah, I know I had a buddy. He's been trying to get the One. He said, I don't want a 1S. I want or the Series S. I want the Series X for my kid and the PlayStation 5 for my other two kids. And it's been a pain in the butt for him being a truck driver, trying to get him and the wife and, who's at home, but just trying to stay, just trying to get one and get in the queues and stuff. Yeah, that's been rough. But, yeah, I just say stay with that Wario on Twitter and IGN deals and, just keep an eye on it because they kind of let you know ahead of time to kind of get in the queue and doesn't guarantee that you're going to get one, but have your credit card ready. And good luck, getting onto these websites, whatever they show, whether it be a Best Buy, PlayStation, or Microsoft Store Direct, or Walmart. Make sure you just have accounts ready for all those brick and mortar stores or whatever, the online stores. Have emails and PayPal's ready. But we are moving on, guys, to the console corner section of the show. Now, let's see what we have here, because we have some early numbers here for PlayStation Plus. Not something I normally see until probably like at least the 5th of December, or for any month for PlayStation, but we do have PlayStation Plus game Uncharted, the Nathan Drake Collection. Now, Jesus, I thought we had seen this before, but maybe I'm thinking of a different game, and I thought we had read something on it where it was a freebie. But this one does include Drake's Fortune, Among Thieves, and Drake's Deception. That is your free PlayStation Plus game for December. Oh, I put 2020. So let's change that year to 2021. I think that would be just January. I'm sorry. I even had the month wrong on that. So next year, January 2021, Drake's Fortune, the Nathan Drake Collection.
Yeah,
and you're...
I mean, like, that's been out before, too. I don't know the games that well.
Yeah, so the second one is Goat Simulator. Blah, blah, blah. I know this was an Xbox Games for Gold, and they probably gave that game away 3 different times, but it's not for, probably this audience. It's a little more meh than anything. Just a goat just jumping around, destroying things, but not even in a fun way, in my opinion. Go claim it, but don't download it, guys. Go play the Uncharted collection instead over on PlayStation. It's just like, yeah, some games are like good enough for a claim, but not good enough for a download. Okay. That's the way I see it.
You have one more game in there.
Yeah, right. I thought they would have. I thought it was like, give us a third game instead of this Goat Simulator garbage. What am I paying the $15 a month for, or 12, or whatever I'm paying? Come on. But a lot of that kind of bleeds over here to our Xbox Games for Gold, and I think this is also for January of the year that's supposed to be better, 2021, and that is that Styx Shard of Darkness. Nothing I've ever played before. Maybe I played like 5 minutes of it, and it just seemed like this like trolley game of maybe you being stealthy and killing something. But yeah, I remember this being early on in the Xbox One launch. And that was that Styx game. So I never played. Not at launch, but shortly after. Could be wrong. Within the first year, I will say that. And your Xbox One compatible game is that Tekken 6. Again, all these games are going to work on your future console, your Xbox Series S and X. And that is Tekken 6. So probably just go download those on, let's see here. Those will be probably available on the 31st of December, Christmas Eve. Moving over to the Epic Store, and I'm going to click on this link here for the Epic Store because this might be an older article, guys, but there are 15 free games at the Epic holiday, or at Epic this holiday. There have been a couple days where I was working, so I was not able to claim a few of them. So let's see here. I know that I don't have... There's not a full list here, but we have City Skylines, right? One of my all-time favorites. I was able to claim that, so I just own that thing everywhere. December 18th, Oddworld New and Tasty. I didn't get that one. December 19th, The Long Dark. I was able to claim The Long Dark. December 20th, Defense Grid, The Awakening. Now, this was the original. I was able to play maybe the first mission or first couple of missions of this game. It's a little slow, I will say. I don't think it had a speed up button, or there was some kind of tutorial that where you were able to speed it up. They made a second one too, and there's another clone out there that's really good. Defense Grid, good game. December 21st, Alien Isolation. I think they gave this game away before, so I might have claimed it. But a game I haven't played. I know other people have finished that game, and it's more of a hide from the monster type style situation. December 22nd, Metro 23 Redo. Damn it, I was not home to claim this game. But I do own this on the Xbox, both of those games. December 23rd, Tropico 5. I think that came with my graphics card 3 years ago. So yeah, I was not able to get that. And December 24th, which is Inside. I think that's like that sort of that black and white side scroller.
Yes, it is.
Puzzler game.
It's like a little puzzle platformer.
Yeah. I forgot the original game that came before Inside. You remember what that was, Mayo? That little black and white figure with the, you can see the white eyeballs.
Yeah, it's on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah, that was good. That one was good. I never finished it. It was like, whoa, way too hard for me, the physics and everything. But not something I gravitated towards. It was a good little trailer for what it was.
You mean Limbo?
Limbo, thank
yep.
you. Yes.
Yeah.
That was good. And I'm gonna get out here real quick because somebody might actually be able to get this game before it's too late. I'm gonna see how much time there is. Now I'm clicking on the Epic Store here. I will go back to that later. Let's go to the store. Let's go down to Darkest Dungeon was the game that I claimed today. December 26th. Merry Christmas to you all. Let's see. I don't know. It doesn't have a timer on how much time you can claim it. But yeah, if you're listening to this now, go ahead and try and see if you can get it before the next game is out. Again, they're always a mystery game. I think they do announce it on Twitter if you follow the Epic Store. But now that I'm on the Epic Store, Mail, I'm looking at this and I see that what was it? It's Super Meat Boy Forever is out. And I think I'm going to buy it because I don't know if that's on any console yet. I think it might be an exclusive.
Is this the sequel?
I believe so. Yeah.
I made the sequel.
It says here, the challenge of Super Meat Boy returns in Super Meat Boy Forever. Levels are brutal and death is inevitable. Players will run, jump, punch, and kick their way through familiar places, new worlds, all while enjoying a story truly meant for big screen. And you know who that developer is? Team Meat. Love that name. There is Dr. Fetus, who's making a comeback. But yeah, That first one was so good. Super Meat Boy, so good. Love that game. But I think, so moving over to, let's see what we have here for a couple games featured on Xbox Game Pass, guys. Ukulele and the Impossible Lair. Now, this is something I was talking to somebody at work who worked in a grocery store, and I was telling him, like, hey, man, you got to get, I think it was Immortals Phoenix Rising, because he has a Switch, and I think he does have a PS4, and I said, man, Immortals Phoenix Rising, he loves the Nintendo type series, or, and I said, you got to get that on the Switch, and also, if you're into the Donkey Kongs and the Marios and stuff, yeah, go with that Ukulele and the Impossible Lair. It's on both the Xbox consoles and on Game Pass PC. The other one that kind of stuck out to me was Elder Scrolls Skyrim, because, again, Bethesda acquisition. That is the Elder Scrolls Skyrim Special Edition, and that is not available on just the console for now. So not on PC yet. But I think it will be eventually. So go get that on your Xbox consoles. But I think now we are moving on to community questions, Mayo. Jesus, Mayo, I know you asked some questions on Facebook. I don't know what we got on there as well.
Let me check the Facebook while you read the one we have from Leahy.
All right, but our first one comes from Leahy, aka Michael. What's up? Merry Christmas. And he wants to know, how do you guys, what do we think about all this negative deserved press going after CD Projekt Red going forward? Do you think there will still be multiplayer? Will there still be a multiplayer aspect of the game? And do you think this will affect any of the DLC content going forward? Also, what are our thoughts on Sony removing it from the store on their end? Now, this question was asked from last week, and I heard also, again, this was removed from Microsoft as well. So it's not available on any store through consoles, I would say, especially through Microsoft and Sony. And, yeah, I know that some of the Sony stuff is where they weren't allowing any kind of refunds. We saw some of that backlash even in our own community, for people asking for refunds, and they were just having a hell of a time until, this whole thing kind of blew up, and then they were like, fine, everybody gets a refund and we take it from the store. It was kind of fucked up, I will say, on both ends. So unless Microsoft was just freely going, yeah, that's fine, But Sony was a little different. Sony was initially was like, hey, you downloaded the game, you can't get a refund. And I think Microsoft was a little more lenient, I would assume. Whether you played under that 1 hour or 2 hours difference. And yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think?
About things? With the multiplayer and the DLC content coming forward, I think it's gonna slow it down a little bit, because I think CD Projekt Red is probably determined to make their games run well, and there's so much work right now putting in to, I guess, stopping the negative press, like getting everything the way everybody wants it.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're probably focusing on that, and they're probably their multiplayer and their DLC content probably isn't their focus right now. So, they're probably really, trying to stop these problems and get these bugs fixed. And they're probably use as much personnel as possible to get this done, because they want to get it out of the way, and, with it being removed from the store, it just, the faster they can get this stuff fixed, I'm sure it'll be back on the PlayStation Store again. So they're probably putting all their resources in to getting these bugs worked out, and probably working on the OG Xbox version. They're probably all these people into making this OG Xbox version of the game.
Yeah, they probably look at it and they're like, hey, how do we really dumb this down, as far as ambient conclusions and all these things, and how do we just lower those levels so much that it plays, that it's optimized.
Take more cars out.
Yeah, more people, more NPCs, yeah.
So do you remove quests? What do you take out of the game to make it run?
Yeah, it's got to be a lot of, it's got to be things like, whether it's raining in the building or, or just buildings. Let's remove complete buildings out of the game, and putting in longer load screens. Fuck it, load that shit up for make them 5-minute load screens. So the game runs or something crazy. Just to drive people mad. Go, oh my god, you fixed it, but I can go make a sandwich, go down to Taco Bell, and get a pack of smokes, and I'll come back and the game's just finished loading on my OG Xbox.
I seen Jesus make this comment when this first happened. I think it was last week when they took the game off the PlayStation Store and stuff. Jesus hit it right on, the nail right on the head when it's like, why is Cyberpunk the one being made the example of? Your comment, Jesus, was, there's been other bad game releases, Anthem, No Man's Sky.
Yes.
All these games came out and were bad. They had issues, but they were never taken off the store. They were never,
True.
the game is so bad or it's whatever, we're just going to take it completely off the store so it can't be
I checked Anthem. It's still on the Xbox store to this day. They're trying to sell the premium edition for $7 minus it's a $69 version for $7.
Yeah.
It's still there today.
Exactly.
Do you want to buy this game, Meryl? Gunny, for $6? Yeah, instead of $69. Yeah, it's still there. Trying to sell it to me.
But there's been way worse, products out there. I get it's not playable on maybe the OG Xbox and stuff, but for it to be removed from the store is such a dramatic step. I feel like they're just taking it too far.
Yeah.
Here's what I think. There is that horde mentality where everybody's thinking I should refund it too, just because everybody else is doing it. I don't know. It's
And then you see these articles, these faint articles where people were wanting to get refunds and keep the game.
Dumbasses.
I know, I saw that. You took the game from me. You wanted a refund. But you took the game out of my account. I can't play it. Yeah, because you wanted a refund. Yeah, but I want to keep the game too.
Right. Yeah, there's a full refund on it. That way you can keep it still.
Yeah.
Jump on that.
People are dumb, dude. But yeah.
Come on now.
But,
I know we've spoken to death on this.
Yeah, Jesus, we got some questions on Facebook, and we got one on here for you.
Oh.
No, this one is specifically to Jesus Walks a Lot. Brian Tulip Jr. wants to know how long before Jesus gets a PS5 and then sells it.
In March. He'll get it in March and sell it in June. 2 months I played.
When's the very first big gap in exclusive releases is when Jesus sells it.
Yeah.
So if there's a couple of exclusive games in a row, then he might keep it around. If there's a 3-month span where there's no exclusive game, it's gone.
Oh man, no! I want a PS5, but I can't find one. I guess it's kind of a good thing because there's really no exclusives out right now.
Yeah, I think we need to hire Bill Gardner in a second to get us PS5s because he seems to find that stuff everywhere.
He's good about that stuff. He's got his PS5, his Xbox One X, his Xbox One S.
And one day he posted on Facebook, and it was available in all your stores in Portland, Jesus. And I look at mine, and I pulled up my stores, and it was just not available within the 80-mile radius.
Yeah, there's
no. To Indiana to get one.
Yeah, there's no PS5s available nowhere, dude. They're sold the fuck out. They're Xboxes I see more often, like people are finding them more often. PS5 is just impossible. That thing is fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been looking here and there. I've been trying to get up in the morning when I go to work. I'll look and see if there's any available. I can thought about maybe picking one up to pair it with my my new TV, but no luck.
Yeah. Michael has a last question for us as far as what are our thoughts on the video game awards? He wants to know what we think about them.
Oh, in general, I like them, but they're too. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I don't
long
as often. What was that?
too long, maybe? The show's too long, you think?
I don't mind how long they are. They just...
I mean, it's a once-a-year thing for 2.5 hours, right?
I feel like some of them are really disconnected with what some of the mass people like. You know, there'd be these games that get in like the Game of the Year award. That what was it, a couple years ago? Celeste was in there.
Yeah, that was last year, I think.
Game was. And everybody's like, "What's Celeste?" Like, how can this game be in the running for Game of the Year award?
I never played. I know what it is. I know what's it about, but I never played it.
And stuff like that. So I feel like they're trying to make it too Hollywood in a way. You know, and gamers just kind of see right through that, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like I didn't get a chance to watch it this past year, and I know Jeff Keighley, and you know he tries to get as much possible in there as possible. You know, as far as games go, and you know, developers and speakers and trailers and all sorts of things. And yeah, it's hard to say because I didn't watch it this year, and I think I only got to watch half of it last year with Celeste being the number one pick. But I do like the announcements as far as like a game trailer or something, or you know, seeing a Phil Spencer or who's the guy formerly from Nintendo who's now at GameStop, and Reggie, you know, up there. And yeah, it's some of that stuff's cool, but I don't know. Does the Spike thing still happen? The Spike VGA Awards, whatever the fuck they're called, and
that's what they are. But they're now on whatever stream or what the fuck it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know it's grown. I know that Jeff has kind of grown with whether people watch on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook or Discord, wherever the hell they're watching from. It's definitely grown over the years, and yeah, is what it is. It's not going to affect my buying decisions. You know, it's maybe pique my interest as far. Well, I shouldn't say that because I never did like. Even though I found that Celeste won, I was like, okay, well, that's good. People like that game, but yeah, it's all right. You know, best art direction, and we kind of do it ourselves, right? Do we not every year that we speak about these things, and you know, indie game of the year and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got some more questions from Brian on the Facebook page. Jesus and that Gunny, he wants to know: did you get any good OnlyFans codes that you guys can share?
No good OnlyFans codes.
No, not sharing those.
No, what's that? I don't know.
Oh, Gunny. Well, it's a good thing you don't know, Gunny. It's a good thing you don't know. You'll be spending all your money on OnlyFans. Good thing, Gunny. Good thing.
Yeah. Maybe my son can tell me. I don't know. He was distracting me just now.
And then Brian's last question, he says, what was your favorite Christmas gift, non-gaming related?
Ooh, I got a pair. Well, you know what? I've still got one gift that's coming from Amazon. Did I mention this already? That it didn't come today. It might come tomorrow or Monday. Who knows? It's a big gift, the wife said. But I got some pair of slippers. I got some of those slippers that didn't fit me, that I didn't like.
So you didn't like that one.
So no favorite gifts, man. No favorite gifts that I liked. I didn't get jack shit, really.
Shit. Man, neither did I, really. I didn't get jack shit, so nothing.
I got Kyle I don't think he's listening right now, but he got a Steam card. You know what? Fuck it. I got him a $50 card. He's gonna buy me Hades.
He's gonna buy you Hades with this $50 card.
Buy me Hades for $20. Kyle, he's over there. He's not listening. He's in the show, right? But he's not. Yeah.
Throwing that out there. I think it's on my account.
Oh.
Hades on. You have it on Steam, right? Okay.
Yes, I do.
And like a little Yoda doll. Got him a Yoda.
Oh, the little baby Yoda?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I got it from GameStop Sunday.
Dope. How much was that? Like $50, $40, $30?
No, so some of the plush dolls were like $50. Not in GameStop, but other things in the mall. And I think people were trying to sell them unpublished. Right, Kyle? That was you're gonna buy me Hades with that Steam card, right? What? What? The Steam card that I got you, Hades, the game. Yeah, $19.99, bro. It's on sale. Yeah, cool, right? You're gonna get it? I don't know. He's like, whatever, man. I gotta take a shower, bro. Yeah, I don't hear you. Not listening.
Yeah, we got one last question on the Facebook page, and that is from Sean Imes Fuller over here. He says, "Can you eat 2 gallons of ice cream in 20 minutes for $500?"
Damn! If I was younger, I could have. I was able to eat 5 gallons before.
Of what?
Ice cream in 20 minutes?
That's
5
a lot.
gallons.
5 gallons, dude? You know how big a gallon is? It's those big
I
ass
can only eat
tubs.
5 gallons, not 2.
Brown pails of ice cream?
Yeah, it's like those big ass round pails of ice cream. That would take me like hours to finish, and I wouldn't even be able to finish. I don't think. I'd get tired of eating it. You get a fucking brain freeze.
Yeah.
Your teeth would hurt. There's so much.
I definitely could not do it 20 minutes. I don't like ice cream, so I wouldn't even eat it for $500. So, well, I would eat ice cream for $500, but not.
Can I get some chocolate sauce? I'll do it.
So, what do you mean? You mean like that fudge or the hot chocolate shit you put on
The
top?
Hershey shit, man.
Yeah.
Put the Hershey shit on there. Throw some sprinkles on it. I'll eat it in 20 minutes. No problem.
5 gallons of ice cream.
Yeah, I can do it. You know what? Can we just throw that in the microwave, Sean? Is there a microwave big enough?
Yeah, drink it all? That's disgusting.
40 seconds in the microwave.
Okay, whatever.
I want to liquefy it, dude. I'll just drink it.
No, that's disgusting. Mayo, you don't like ice cream?
10 minutes.
No, I do not like ice cream.
What do you not? What? How do you not like ice cream? What
I know.
What's wrong with you?
I know, right?
the fuck is wrong with you, guy?
Dude,
I was-
Ben and Jerry's peanut butter fudge, whatever it's called, the peanut butter one.
So I was probably really hard for birthdays because I also don't like cake.
What?
So,
Yeah.
like,
You know what? Leave this call right now.
yeah.
He doesn't
no
like
birthday cake, no,
no birthday cake,
you're out of here.
no ice cream.
You know why
Okay,
guys? You know why I like?
Why?
You know why I got married, right?
Why?
Cake. There was cake, and yeah, that's it right there.
Okay.
was cake.
And your wife, you literally see Gunny get knocked out right now. He didn't know his wife was listening in the kitchen.
And then I said I do because there was cake. There was, you know what the best cake in the world is? The birthday cake flavored cake. Birthday flavored cake.
Yeah, all that, you know, the one you buy at the store, that box thing that's like a birthday flavored cake.
Yeah. Even like I think Baskin and Robbins has those like
Oh,
900 grams of sugar cakes in the refrigerator.
And they got birthday cake flavor cake.
Dude, if they see that, dude, I just melt and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta have this.
You buy them just even if
Like
it's not your birthday.
$28. I'm like, can we buy it? Yeah. No, I just get like a regular smoothie or whatever, or Sunday or something.
Here in Oregon, we got Baskin Robbins, but a lot of the stuff is local too. A lot of the ice cream shops are little local ones, and then
We don't have any local. We have one downtown,
yeah.
and I think it's fake, but it's
It's like, what do you mean it's fake? Like Baskin Robbins owns it or something, or what the fuck?
no. What I mean is like I think it's called Layla's, and they say, I think it's something like handmade ice cream
But
or
it's not handmade.
organic. I don't think it is. I think it's fake as fuck. I'm sorry. It's FAF. It's not that good. I mean, I'd rather just go to Baskin Robbins or what's that other place?
Stone?
Cold Stone. The only thing I don't like about Cold Stone,
What?
I just want to take one of those ice cream things and slap them upside the head with it because I don't like people. I've said this on the show before. Don't fuck with my ice cream. You know how they play with it? Don't play with my ice
They
cream,
play with it. What do you mean they play with it?
dude. They put it on a Cold Stone, right? So they take your ice cream. Okay, what do you want? You want chocolate sprinkles? You want fruit, strawberries? You want nuts on there?
Oh, don't they like mix? Then they mix it, right? Like spread
They
it
mixed
out
it,
and
yeah, on the
start
Cold Stone.
like fucking with it with the spatula and shit, and
Yeah, exactly. So you know,
like
there's
twist
like
it around and roll it up.
So that's 17 minutes before you get your ice cream. And it's like, I want it now. I want it right now. I don't want you to Pit it and pat it and slap it and cut it.
It's artisan ice cream right there, Gunny.
I just want a goddamn ice cream in the damn
Isn't that?
cone. I need it.
Aren't those?
Crunch.
I'm old.
Aren't those the people that also don't they like sing if you like put like $1 in their tip jar or some shit?
Do they?
Isn't that like their thing? If you like tip them, they like sing or some shit. I'm pretty sure it's them, dude. Cold Stone, yeah.
Yeah. Another reason to slap them.
They start singing like, yeah, if you give them like any tip, like $1 or anything in their tip jar, they have to sing if you tell them to.
Can I just put $1 in there and just tell them to hurry the fuck up?
Like, hey guy, hurry the fuck up and give me my ice cream, you asshole.
Right? I mean, come on, yeah. What's that right next door to it? Panda Express. Yeah, and See's Candy. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Like, oh my god, I got the same exact thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you ever walk in there and they're like, can you just like toss my candy up and, juggle it for like 5 minutes before I get it? No. Just give me the damn ice cream. That's it. Seriously, that's the only thing I don't like about it. And I think it's got a little bit more sugar. Again, as a boomer, that's my opinion, but yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I've never had like that. I mean, I've been to Cold Stone, but I've never seen them put that shit on a Cold Stone. I think you're full of shit.
No, like I guess if you want stuff in it.
Oh, okay, but I don't
like your kid.
I don't put stuff in my ice cream. Gunny, what are you, a little kid? Are you putting gummies?
Or gummies.
Gunny, you putting fucking gummies in your ice cream, Gunny? What the fuck?
Dude, I load it up with sugar. No, I just say
you put gummies and Oreos and fucking Reese's Pieces all in there, or what?
For me, I'm like, just give me the chocolate mint chip, or it's. But they have those featured ice creams.
What's the featured ice cream?
No, whatever it might be, like where they give it a name. I can't think of the name.
Oh, like the Yellow Brick Road or some dumb shit.
Yeah, stuff like that.
The Wizard of Oz ice cream. Woo-hoo-hoo. Go get
something featured, right?
Okay.
And for me, I'm just like, can I get the chocolate mint chip? I'm like, yeah, but like we're gonna put it on a Cold Stone and fuck with it for 5 minutes. I'm like, no, just give me the damn ice cream. You put it.
Yeah, I've never seen them put him on a Cold Stone. Maybe because they see that I'm like Mexican or whatever, and they're like, this motherfucker's impatient. He doesn't want his ice cream on a Cold Stone. He doesn't even know what a Cold Stone is. This is a white people thing or something.
It's got to be.
This motherfucker. I've never seen nobody put ice cream on a Cold Stone, Gunny. Never. Ever.
Yeah. But I think the
Mayo
is closer to me.
Mayo, have you seen anyone put ice cream on a Cold Stone and fuck with it?
No.
See, no one's ever seen this. Gunny.
They probably don't do it now due to COVID or something, but I haven't been over there in a minute. I go to Baskin.
Is it even open? Is it even open because of COVID?
I don't even know. Like, so there's that, and then the See's Candy, and it's on the other side of the highway for me. Like, not far, but I just go to Baskin Robbins. It's open.
Yeah.
You just can't do taste. You can't taste the...
Oh, yeah. They can't let you sample. Yeah. You don't do samples anymore. Yeah.
Like, what do you want? If you guys want it, and then if you don't like it, then you can come back inside and exchange it or something. Like, no.
Here in Oregon, the most popular, I would say, one of the most popular ice creams is the Tillamook ice cream. It's like Tillamook is a dairy. Like
near, we have that down.
Yeah,
we get the half gallons down here.
Yeah, we get the same up here. So like you could buy it at the store, but like most of the local shops, like little stores that sell ice cream or whatever, like ice cream shops around town or wherever you go, I want to say 99% of them are either Tillamook ice cream or Umpqua. There's another dairy called Umpqua or whatever. There's that one too.
Yeah, Umpqua. We get those. We get your shit down here, Jesus.
Yeah.
We get it down here in California. They ship it down here.
Yeah, I know you do, you motherfuckers. And
we're gonna send you our wine, and then we'll get your ice cream.
What are you talking about, Gunny? I live in wine country.
I deliver those Oregon wines in the
this
Washington
part of
wine.
Oregon where I live. There's more wineries in this fucking town than there is people, I think.
Yeah.
There's like fucking wineries everywhere, dude. Like it's ridiculous, Gunny.
I know people think I live in like skyscraper city, but it's mostly just dairies and wineries.
Wineries.
How I make my living.
Yeah. Yeah, but
everybody thinks I live out in the Hicks and the farms, and I live in Skyscraper City.
Right, surrounded by cows, right, Mayo, and tractors.
Right. Fucking Mayo, they're living in fucking Cyberpunk. We're over here living in fucking farmland.
Got his cybernetic milk.
Shit, but that's all we have for you. Any more questions?
No.
No.
Okay,
Oh, I actually have one more question. Actually, one from me. This is actually directed toward Gunny.
Oh.
So I saw your post earlier this week, or earlier today, even actually. How was your hot chocolate?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I did send that picture. It's different. I'll say that. It seems a little grainy, but it was good. Like I put some whipped cream on it, and it was delicious. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
So Gunny went and found the chocolate that I told him to go find at the store. Yeah. Good
It's
job.
funny because I went over there. I delivered my booze, and then she's like, "I'm like, do you have that grandma's chocolate?" She's like, "What?" She spoke good English, and then I was like, "I don't remember the name." She was like, "Abuelita." I'm like, "Orale, that's the one. You got it." And then she goes, "Oh, the aisle number 3." I went over there. I'm like, no sé, I don't know where I'm going. And then I think as soon as she came over, I was like, "Is this one?" She's like, "See." So I came over. It was like $5.25 for like you get like the 4-pack. And yeah, I took some of that. I put a little bit of water in there. I melted it up. Put some milk in there, and yeah, it was good.
Yeah, you usually heat up. Well, the way I would do it is I would heat up the milk in a pot, and then you kind of get it to a boiling point, and then you add the chocolate in afterwards. And depends on how sweet or how you like your chocolate. You kind of depends on how much you're making is how you do it really.
Yeah.
Then you got to make sure you mix it and stir it right or whatever, like that fucking.
Yeah, but overall it was good. So I've got 3 more, and
yeah, I love that chocolate. That chocolate's the best.
I'll probably drink another one tomorrow.
Yeah.
Share that with me and the wife and kid, and
Made by good old. I seen the Nestle name on there.
Yeah, Nestle. Yeah, they bought him out.
oh, I
Probably.
didn't even notice. Yeah, didn't even notice that was on there. But
Fucking
yeah,
Nestle. Yeah, Nestle makes all kinds of shit. Yeah,
yeah, they're a big company.
yeah. They're like all those. They're like all those other companies that make shit for like everywhere around the world. So they make like Hispanic foods and fucking Indian food and fucking all kinds of shit, man. Just all kinds of shit.
We have another question here from Leahy. He wants to know what cool gear did you guys get for Christmas?
I ain't get no gear, man.
Oh, I just on my TV.
Oh, yeah.
I got this new OLED. So
I did get the wife did get me a wristband for my. This is for my. What do I want to call? Oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind over here with this thing. It's a the wristband for not the Apple Watch, but what the hell do I call this thing? It's got the Fitbit. Thank you. This is the Fitbit 2, I think it's called, or the HR2, which I've had for several years now. Well, this one I've had specifically for a year and a half, and just the wristband, the little thing broke on it, and yeah, so she got me replacement band, which they just pop on and off. Little something for tech there. And this is somebody just right up the street from me here. General G's on Discord asks, what other hobbies are you guys into? Music, art, comics, collectibles, dressing up in schoolgirl outfits on TikTok. Yeah, I don't know that that's your thing, that you do that thing, but yeah.
Other things that I'm into, really, video games are the main thing that I'm into. I mean, I like music, I like movies and shit, but really, video games are my main hobby.
You know what I watched today, man?
Podcasting, my favorite hobby.
You know what I watched? I watched a little bit of Doctor Who today, man,
oh, nice.
on the BBC, and I was like, oh, I'm going to watch some actual television.
I watched that.
I actually flipped some channels today.
I watched some on that HBO Max. Apparently, it's on there too.
Yeah, it is. I have HBO Max.
Yeah, and I watched some on there, Mayo. Some of that Doctor Who shit.
They seem to really, really share themselves around. As far as like, I even told you like it was on some Amazon Prime stuff, I think, as well. So I'm like,
yeah, it's been kind of everywhere. It was on Prime for a while, then it went to somewhere else. People buy out the rights for a while. Yeah. It's kind of like a time thing, and I don't know if there's a little bit of a demand there. Like wherever that's at, it's only on one app at a time, it seems like. And they just kind of keep selling the rights for a certain time period, and then they kind of move it.
It's kind of like, what's that other one that's leaving Netflix? Like The Office.
Yeah.
That's leaving Netflix, and it's going to like that Peacock bullshit. the Peacock.
Is that
okay.
NBC or CBS partly owned
CBS,
or something?
Yeah. The Peacock. What the fuck would you call it? The Peacock. That's like a stupid ass name, dude. The Peacock. Oh, I'm streaming the Peacock today during brunch. I'm gonna watch some Peacock. Wow. Anyways.
But yeah, as far as like, I'm just gonna take my camera off here so my son can get his clothing. But as far as hobbies and anything like that, really, like, I know I was talking to Mayo about it earlier about movies and stuff. I've just been mainly into, besides work and it's video games and family time. That's really like where I spend 99% of my time. So I haven't had time to really watch any real movies outside of anything major Marvel, or that it's popular. As far as music goes, hey man, I love the Spotify. I like getting the unlimited. I have been doing that. I did get the 3 months for $10, and I like the fact that I could download all that music and play it. And General G's knows this, that like, hey, maybe T-Mobile's not available everywhere. Especially on my route going up to where he lives and through the hills and throughout. The Solano County, Mendocino County area of where, yeah, man, it's there. I just hit shuffle and the music goes, and that can include anything from like country or rock and roll or hip hop or even a little pop. Throw some of that stuff in there. Anything that's like got a good beat to it, I'm down for it. Hey, it's the holidays, right? So I'm going to play a little Christmas music. Hit that shuffle. I'll play that for a short amount of time. But yeah, man, mostly comics. Let's see here. Let me just bring that up here real quick. That was comics. Yeah, it's not something that I never really got into as far as art and comics. The only thing I really collected was some Star Trek cards. That was really it. So Ghost Nico. But yeah, that's it for me. I mean, besides podcasting and listening to podcast. So yeah.
Likewise, it's pretty much just gaming for me. I don't watch a ton of TV. I listen to a lot of music and podcasts at work. But when I'm not working, it's pretty much gaming.
Yeah.
Audible. Kids, being outdoors.
Audible. I love Audible. I do the 2 credits a month, $26. Yeah. Yeah. Want to say something?
Don't forget to remind old man Gunny to play some video games today.
Yeah, thank you, little Gunny.
No problem, big Gunny.
Go play your Minecraft, okay? We'll play tomorrow. So, but I think that's all we have for the show.
We're done. Oh, all right. Where can we find you, Gunny?
Go find me on Xbox, on the Epic Store, and the Uplay Store as Gunny Chief, and over on the PlayStation as HGP_Gunny. Where do we find you, Mayo?
Oh, it's mainly look for me on the Discord. As the Mayo. You can find me over on Twitter as the Mayo. And I would say that's mainly it. I'm on the Xboxes. I think the Mayo 1 and Steam is Mayo 1. But just come on over to the Discord. Find me over there. Easiest way to do it.
All right, and you can find me on everything as Jesus Walks a lot today. I'll be playing some Call of Duty probably. I don't know.
What that Cold War?
I need to find me a game on. Someone recommend me a game on Steam. I need to find something to play. Something good. I don't know. But yeah, if anything, I'll be playing Cold War. I guess. Find me on everything. Jesus Walks a lot. I'll be on there as Jesus Walks a lot. Just find me. Go ahead. Yeah, that's it. Oh, with that being said, peace out, Brussels sprouts. We'll catch you on the next week's edition of the Horrible Gamers Podcast. Merry Christmas to you. Happy holidays. Happy everything. Gunny's music keeps cutting out. He doesn't realize it, but it is.
It's copyright free, man. It's Christmas, dude.
It keeps cutting out. It's not picking it up.
Ah.
Sorry. It's like we get like a snippet of it, and then like Discord cuts it out. So I don't know what to tell you, man.
Ho ho ho.
Ho ho ho! Merry Christmas, Mayo.
People listening now, they're like, Happy New Year.
Yeah, and Happy New Year's to the people listening next week on New Year's Eve. And hopefully 2021 is a better year.
Definitely.
I mean, I wouldn't get my hopes too high, but we'll hopefully hope for a better year, huh, guys? Woo!
Yeah.
Anyways,
yay.
We're out of here. Peace out, Brussels sprouts. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Later.
Yeah.
Bye.